Well, welcome out to the conference then. This is our first one that we are filming. I'm no stranger to doing boot camps, but so for those online attendants, thanks for being with us. The goal obviously of this conference is to help you guys to get from point A to point Z. There's a lot of companies out there that don't train on the little intricacies. So you get, mostly it's door pitch training. You know, hey, this is the pitch, this is the pitch, this is the pitch, and then it's like some gimmick. Do this, do that. Essentially, you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks. My ultimate goal of having this on our website and also just being here with you is to help you guys to understand every component of the sell, because it is a science. I want you to understand every component of how to recruit properly and how to add value to people's lives, because ultimately that's what matters in this industry. I've got to where I'm at because of that. So that's the goal of this conference. I want you guys to take away from that. To give you a little outline of what we'll be doing, today is going to be the sales training day, and I know that there's a bunch of recruits that are still going to be coming in today. So hopefully they can catch a good portion of that. If not, they can review it online. Tomorrow is going to be our training recruiting day and just how to build a successful program. So be ready for that. I'm going to do a little intro on who I am, and actually I'll probably have our office manager get up just for a second. You don't have a mic, so you're gonna have to like speak into my neck. But just kidding. So I'll give you a little background on me. I started the sales game probably about 4 years ago with Vivint Security. It was a great experience for me. I don't have anything bad to say about Vivint, and I think what I learned there, it's definitely changed my life. It wasn't easy. It was never easy. Not one day, I don't think. I think selling TV is the greatest blessing that I've ever fell upon, but I ran some little teams there. I got recruits there, and then what ended up happening was I actually moved out to Houston, Texas to do alarms full time. So I was gonna do Vivint full time out there. And I wanted to make a sell where I could do a TV sell so that it would lower their bill, and then I could switch it over and do an alarm sell. So I was still all in alarms. I wanted to be just the golden boy at Vivint, you know what I mean? I wanted to be number one. So I went out to do that, and I ended up my first day selling TV. I did fantastic, and I freaking loved it. So I decided to go full swing TV, where simulcast comes from. So I was looking into running my own dealer entirely separate. But obviously the startup costs and having a call center, it's pretty rough. And so I started to explore around kind of just some different options. And we actually do have a relationship and a partnership with Iconic. And the VP of sales of Iconic is coming tomorrow, and he'll be on the website too, which will be great. But he's gonna do a training for an hour. He has probably 600 reps now. Like, he's fantastic at building a system. He does very well. He's very, very humble, but he makes great money, and I love him for it. You know, I love the humility. And I love what he offered for me, because essentially what it's allowed us to do is now, rather than spending a lot of time on a call center, I can now spend time with you guys. And so that's why we do these. I can be here because I don't have to worry about a call center. I don't have to worry about things like that. So I made the choice to partner up with Iconic because it was a smart decision. And they've been able to learn a lot from what we're doing, and we've been able to take a lot from them. So simulcast is its own beast, but we're grateful to share with Iconic. That obviously saves us costs. So that's who simulcast is. We've actually only been in business for, I think, 13 months, and we've done 2,000 accounts, which is fantastic. And that's because of you guys. So I genuinely wanted to get this nicer cabin so that I could show you that I care. Shakespeare says it best, you know, he does not love who does not show his love. And so this is a way that I can show you and not just say it. Like, what you are doing, it's helping. It helps me, but it helps you, and it builds your lives as well. So I appreciate you. I've got a wife and a baby boy here, so if they come up and they're running around, hopefully they get caught on the website, but they are my life. Luckily, she's not within earshot, so I can say honesty, and you know I'm not just BSing, but yeah, she's a lot of my life. Haley's changed my life for the better and helped me in every way, and having a son is pretty cool. So hopefully you get to see him, but you guys will get to see him. You already have, so. And then I want to just do a little intro for Louise Dalby, so come on up here.
I'm Louise. Robert came to me in, October of this year, September, October?
I think so.
Last year, he goes, things are really going crazy, I've got to have somebody help. And I've known Robert for a long time, and he goes, part-time? It'll be great, I just need somebody to help part-time. And I currently have a job working at the schools, I'm an accompanist. And I said, great, part-time's great. Well, within about 2 months, it was a lot more than part-time. It just kind of blew up. Because when I took over, it gave Robert a chance then to work with the reps. He wasn't doing all of the other stuff that, getting the onboarding and getting the information and getting the badges and getting all of this stuff. He wasn't doing that anymore. And he could spend all of his time with the reps. That really had everything just started rolling. So I'm working for another 6 weeks, and then I'm full-time, and I am happy, I think.
Me too.
Robert's happy, I'm happy.
I'm way happy she's going full-time.
So that's who I am, and that's when you contact HR, I'm the one that handles HR. I work with payroll quite a bit, and so that's me.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, she's been a huge help. Okay, well, is it okay if I sit down? Am I still in view? All right, I'll sit down and make sure this puppy's still on. Also, Louise, if you want to grab like the M&Ms and stuff and people can just kind of pass those around, I'm okay with that. We'll keep it pretty casual. All right, let's go through it, guys. I made some slideshows and I will be sending these out. So I don't necessarily want you to write down everything on the slide because you're going to get a lot more from what I say, but I'm just going to go over some basics. Let's just talk about policy and procedures and get the boring stuff out of the way. Then we can take a little snack break and then we'll get right into some goods. Yeah, well, there's plenty of snacks. Please eat snacks. Okay, so let's run through the pay scale a little bit. I'll get out of the way of the camera so you can see it a bit. So why a pay scale? Okay, the reason why we are set up on a pay scale, it's very simple. So when the settlers came to America, they came for religious freedom, okay? They came as well for earned success. They never wanted a government handout. They never wanted to give me. That wasn't the point. They wanted, when they put in effort, they wanted to get the reward for it, okay? And so the reason why we have it set up on a pay scale structure is because literally when you earn something, it is 10 times better. So we have set it up to where we can get bonuses in the company and grow within the company. These pay scales are better than most, right? You've worked for a ton of companies. So it's better than most, okay? I try to beat, if I see a pay scale higher, I really try to beat it. So this is pretty max dollar, but there's two different kinds of pay scale, how this works. One is a year-round program, and the other is a summer model program. So there's pros and cons to both. A year-round pay scale, when you hit higher pay tiers, so at the 50 account mark, your base goes up $20. In the year-round program, you do not get a bonus, you just get a higher pay. Okay, there's no bonus for the accounts that you've already put in. But you get to stay at that point forever. So that's kind of nice. Year-round though, in order to qualify for that, you've got to be putting accounts in year-round. So we have summer guys, there's going to be qualifications where you have got to hit at least like 30 and a quarter. That's not too hard, that's 10 a month. That has to happen for you to stay on a year-round pay scale. Okay, so people who are year-round in here, like Richard's year-round, you'll probably be year-round. And I don't know, whoever else wants to, that's fine. And it's actually a really, really beneficial pay program. Once again, I mean, when you're locked into higher pay, it's great. The summer program, though, has pros as well. So year-round, typically people pay for their own housing and things like that. Okay, that's how a year-round program works. A summer model, there is company housing, which reps still pay, but it can be bonused back. So let's talk about summer. So if you're in the summer and you sell 150 accounts, your base went from 50 to 100, and you actually get back paid. It's called retroactive pay on your previous accounts. So you get a bonus, okay? So when you hit 100 accounts, you get paid 50 times 100, so you get like a $5,000 bonus, bam. So you get that bonus. And that comes on a back end in February. So that's the differences of the pay scale, but here's the downside to summer. As soon as October 1 hits, you're back at tier 1. That's just, it is what it is, okay? So you're back at tier 1. So people who do 300 accounts every year, all of your accounts are still worth 150, but you have to re-earn that. Boom, boom. And that's how summer works, okay? The summer model is beautiful because you can go out and hustle, and people in college can go out and seriously make 6 figures. It blows my mind. So people go out and make 6 figures in one summer. So there's pros to that as well. And obviously the bonuses are nice. But that is the pay scale, okay? That is how we pay guys. It's very simple. If an experienced rep comes on, they can start at tier 2 if they've had previous sales experience in the door-to-door world, and we can prove that. And that is how it works, okay? So that is pay scale. Let me talk about what each individual thing is. So your accounts, that's obvious. That's how many you've sold. And actually not just sold, that's installs. So you could sell 100, but if only 5 of them get installed, you only get paid on 5 accounts. So we only get paid when it's in the ground. Your base, that's what you get for every account. And this is all on the website, so I'm gonna skim through this really quick, okay? Because your base, so if I sell a person with no credit, like terrible credit, and I don't sell them a DVR service, I'm gonna get $50. Or if I'm at the pay scale 4, I get $100. ARS is DVR, so it's Advanced Recording System. I think we all know that. Everyone gets DVR, 99.9% of people get DVR. Have you ever sold a non-DVR? Okay, and you've sold hundreds, so you just sell DVRs, okay? It's actually...
Don't give them an option of that, not having DVR.
Yeah, it's...
DVR comes with the package, it's free.
Correct, so you just tell them DVR comes with the package. I think that works.
It's standard now.
It's actually a better offer for the customer to have a DVR, especially at 3 and 4 TVs. 3 and 5 star, that's just credit levels. So if they've got a 3-star credit, you get a $15 bonus. If it's a 5-star, there's $50 bonus. So if you're at the tier 4 and you've sold a 5-star with DVR, you're getting $200 for that sell. And then activation fees, you can charge these or not. You have to tell them on the phone. Okay, like, hey, that there is a $50 processing fee, or just say there's only a $50 processing fee on this. You guys should be getting, activations. That should be happening, okay? They're very simple to collect. Most of the accounts that I sell have them because honestly, it's a way that I can get customers to feel comfortable with the offer and not feel like it's too good to be true. Because everyone knows there's a startup cost, like the fitness center, you have a startup cost at the fitness center. You know what I mean? You have a startup cost, you have dock fees and crazy fees at a car lot. Like, you have fees. I'm trying to think of something I've gotten that doesn't have fees, you know what I mean? Like, everything has fees. So I just tell them, there's a catch. They're like, I knew there was a catch. And I say, it's $50 to turn this thing on. And they're like, oh, that's it? Yeah, that's it. So it actually helps solidify my sales. So if you're at tier 4, you should be expecting 200 on every sale, regardless of credit. Like, you should be getting a 50 Acto, 50 DVR, and 100 base. Does that make sense to everyone? Kind of how pay works? Okay, so that way, I tell people all the time, get to the point where even you're selling 1 a day, which is below average, like, that's great money. You can do the math on that. So 6 times 200 is a good week for most people. All right, if no questions, let's go to the calendar, because this is an item I get all the time. So I just want to, once and for all, solidify how we get paid. It's super weird, I know, but it is also on the website, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. Okay, here's just a random month, January. All right, essentially, if I have an install anytime between Friday and Thursday, not a sell, an install. So if you sold Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you sold 10 deals between these 3 days, and they're getting installed this period. So you have 10 installs from the 6th to the 12th. You're gonna get paid on those 10 installs 2 weeks later. So here to here, 2 weeks out on the 27th. Okay, that is how it works. Super weird, I know. But I love it, and here's why. Because back in the day when I was selling, I used to, so Monday through Saturday, and then it was paid on the next Friday. The problem with that is every Monday you have to start fresh, and I hate that. So like, Mondays are rough as is for people. But if you've sold really well and you have 3 installs here and 2 installs there, you have 5 on the pay period. So like, you wake up Monday feeling great. It's like, yes, like, I love Monday. It's crazy. As soon as I started doing it this way, like, I loved Mondays instantly. So the company, just so you guys are aware, we're not trying to like hold your money forever. We get paid on Tuesday. So Friday through Thursday, we get paid Tuesday. It's generated on Wednesday, paid out on, So Friday to Thursday, we get paid this Tuesday, 2 weeks out, generated on the 25th, paid the 27th. Okay, we're not holding money. It takes our payroll system 2 days to process your payroll. So Wednesday morning, we get it done. It comes to you Friday. And that's it. It's real standard. That way, when it comes across, DirecTV sends us reports. We actually create those reports. We email those out to you guys. I think just about everybody in here's had a chance to see one of those reports. They're pretty self-explanatory, right? Okay. Questions on pay calendar. I'm getting the boring stuff out of the way now. Okay, let's keep going on with this Next, so let's talk about some incentives. Incentives are the bomb. So I'm gonna ask some questions to you guys, and it's too bad more of the summer dudes aren't here because I wanted to get their opinion. I will take notes. So here's some things that we do. All right, incentives, they're important because they keep us going, but they also strengthen our culture. So Dinner Goal is an incredible way for you guys to spend some time together. So in Austin, you know, you guys have got your little crew in Austin, or Waco. You could combine Waco with this, and I think you should. So in that area, you say between you and Ryan, who actually did 2 bundles, dude, he's slapped down. Yeah, the last boot camp just wrecked it, man.
It's like you had no confidence, dude.
Yeah,
He was like, man, I can't get over this mountain.
yeah, and then he
When the
smoked it.
confidence, I knocked out 2-3 classes a day.
Yeah, he's killing. He's doing great, and bundles, like full bundles.
Yeah,
So,
18 people.
oh yeah. So anyway, yeah, that made me feel good about the boot camp. Obviously it worked. So I would do that though, partner up and say, hey, if we do 10 this week, that's Dinner Goal. And then text me like, hey, this is what we want to do on Dinner Goal. I want these to be weekly. So I really do. I want every single week. Yeah, so write this down. Like in our company, this needs to be weekly. It's just for us to sit and assign that out to each office, we can, but I'm going to need some extra help probably from Louise before that happens. And so until she's full time, let's have it where you guys just text me and say, hey, this week we want to do 12, you know? And this is on top of incentives. So this is, I mean, we can have an incentive and a Dinner Goal every week. Some ideas for our Dinner Goals as well is cross team competitions. So like if you have 4 or 5 people in the Waco market that are ready to roll and you want to, you know, throw down with 5 of Taylor's summer guys, you just say, hey, here's our Dinner Goal. And then if you lose, they get your dinner money. So they get 20 plus 20 per person, you know? So for married couples, we do $40. So let's say our goal is 10 between 5 guys. You guys hit 10, which would be ridiculously low between 5 guys, but let's say that's the goal. 10 and 5 guys. Yeah, you can grab a paper and pen if you'd like. Then that's $20 per person. Go to wherever, you know, whatever nice restaurants are in your area. Do you have Lupe Tortilla out where you're at in Austin? Do you have Lupe Tortilla out there? Lupe Tortilla in Houston is so good.
Probably 4 of them. Somebody Mexican restaurants.
Dude, it's the best. So anyway, pick a good place. Brody's, whatever, you know? All right, so that's weekly, I mean, that's Dinner Goals. And like I put up on here, so we can base it on some different things to keep it kind of fresh. So we can base it on volume, 5-star percentage, rookie sales. So some weeks it's just rookies, like just your new guys. So your new guys have to do X amount, or people who have been with the company less than a year, which is most of guys. So, you know, most of your guys. Okay, weekly incentives. All right, so this is the same kind of thing. Let's talk about these, because I want to get your guys' opinion on some prizes that would be cool. Because I'm kind of narrow-minded. I like shoes. I do. I don't know why. Like basketball shoes. I like shoes. I like.
Wireless headphones.
Okay, wireless headphones. Thank you. Things like this are cool.
One's $1.60 are dope. You know, you just know that.
Okay. So wireless headphones. Those are sweet. I like those. Swag. Obviously, we're going to be swagging out soon. So I finally have a good hookup for swag. So we'll throw our logo on jackets. You know, hats and all that jazz. So we will have a good amount of swag. What else, guys? So wireless headphones. What are some things you guys like? A trip.
If you like shoes, you gotta check in the shoes that me and Jake saw in Vegas.
Really?
The new ASIC shoes.
Sweet, huh?
Yeah, you haven't seen anything like them.
Huh. See? There we go. Throwdowns.
I'll talk to you about that later.
Cool. But shoes are good. I do like shoes a lot. I just think they're cool.
Jake needs a new tennis racket.
Tennis rackets. Pickleball equipment.
Pickleball, there you go.
Sports equipment could be sweet.
Yeah, sports equipment.
Okay. Especially, I could see if we could brand some of that stuff, which would be sweet. Simulcast brand it. Kayaks.
I saw snowmobiles on the road.
Just snowmobile, you'd have to ball out of control to get a snowmobile. Okay. We'll have,
That's an annual goal.
so in time, we will have throwdowns where, so we do like a March Madness in August, just a rep madness. And as we get bigger, yeah, we're gonna do huge prizes. So, and we'll just do a 3-day madness. It'll be like 3 days. And whoever wins in those 3 days moves on, and whoever loses, they're out. And we'll rank it based on sales in July, so we'll just do it like a bracket. So rep number 1 is fighting rep 16, like we will rank it exactly like it based on installs. And if you lose, there's upsets, that's all right. And maybe we'll have a bracket prize, everyone has to fill out their brackets. Just kidding, we won't fill out brackets.
That'd be awesome.
But it's like, I don't think I'm gonna win. Number 1 ranked Kansas is gonna win, but then you lose, so. Okay, what else? I just want prizes at this point because I've got the incentive ideas for you guys. I just want prizes.
I like the number 2 prize is like a drone that has like a GoPro drone.
Mm-hmm.
Follows you around as you snowboard or whatever.
Yeah.
Like what? Like you can get some cool stuff. It depends on if you're looking for big stuff. The swag's obviously like a huge part.
Yeah, swag's good. He's saying swag and.
Socks, like everything.
Okay. Just clothes, backpacks. Yeah, I've got a sweet backpack I like a lot. Simulcast bag.
You can get like camelbacks and stuff too.
Camelbacks, jackets. Okay. I like it. Think about it, and as we go throughout, if you just have ideas, can you just tell me? And have your guys as they start coming in. Just have them, we'll talk about that during lunch and things. Okay. But yeah, so here's a couple yearly incentives we have, and these are just standard. So anyone who does 150 installed accounts by October 1st, and that's yearly. So October 1st to October 1st is our fiscal selling year because that kind of includes the summer, and it helps the summer guys to go really smash hard. So that's a summer year, even though it's not a calendar. If you have 150 accounts by October 1st, you're on a boat. And there's a rep in our company who's actually pretty dang close right now to that already. His name's Eddie Adams, and so shout out to Eddie. Yeah, he's killing it. So he's like pretty dang close to that. But we'll go on a cruise. It'll be like a 3-4 day cruise, probably out of Galveston. We'll probably hit that area. So, and then 1,000 accounts underneath. So here's a manager goal. And this is yearly, so don't worry. It's not like if you miss it this year, you miss it forever. But if you can bring on 1,000 accounts underneath you, we'll do a resort stay. So you'll have a resort stay +1. So bring your wife, things like that. Wife, husband, whatever. Or just a friend. Honestly, on that one, like it's just a +1. You can bring whoever you want.
Include the wife,
The cruise.
50 accounts?
So I would say a +1 on the cruise would be 200. And that gives you a free +1. If not, you can pay the way. If you do 150 accounts, you should be able to pay the way. You know what I mean? And you'll be okay.
200, and you are-
Then covered. So 200, I should have put that in here, but I didn't. So write that down and take note online. 200. Okay, that'll get you on our company cruise. So, boom, get you out on a boat, which I love. I love cruises. So,
You don't say Carnival.
Carnival, that's Princess, I think.
You know about cruises, you gotta use name brand. You can't go out brand cruises.
Dude, I always use name brand. We Carnival cruise most of the time. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you don't go.
It was like a jail ship for like 5 days. It was horrible.
Really? No, we always go all out, dude. You got to go hard.
Yeah, don't save the $50. Do not.
Yeah, oh, I know. No. So that's part of the culture as well. So what he's saying, because I know I'm mic'd, he's not. Is just don't skimp out on cruises. Don't skimp out. I don't skimp out on anything because if I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. That's why we're in this place. You know what I mean? Like this place is pretty dope. We're gonna do it right. And I knew there wouldn't be a ton of people, but we did it. When we did ours in Houston, it was pretty sweet. The housing was unreal in Houston. So I will make sure I go all out for you guys. Like I said, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. So the cruise will be done right. You will love it. Get on the boat. It'll be pretty sweet. All right, so policy and procedure, I just want to cover some of this. Actually, maybe now that we've kind of gone over pay and incentives, does anyone have things they want to mention or bring up? Beef, complaints? I wish, yeah, okay. That'll work. All right, let's do it. Right into policy and procedures, and then after this little thing, we'll take a little breather. All right, so reason I'm covering this is because as I go over, or as we get more and more reps on, I still get people who hit me up for little things, and it's kind of like the straw that breaks the camel's back. So my time is best spent doing other things. In fact, I've got a slide for me on there, so I won't get ahead of myself. But I want to talk a little bit about HR responsibilities and going to hr@simulcasttv.com. As you onboard new reps, please don't send me their information. Like, it will not get done. Because as you guys know, when you call me, oftentimes it goes to my voicemail because I'm on the phone with somebody else. So if you send me their information and I look at the text and then I have a phone call come in, and let's say it's my AT&T rep or something, like, I'm gonna answer that call. Or if it's someone at Iconic, I'm gonna answer that call. Like, I'm taking the call. So boom, I'm on the phone. I'm not thinking about your stuff. And that's not because I'm trying to be a jerk. I'm not. And we have to understand there's roles and responsibilities in every organization. And I haven't done a great job of teaching that. So here it is. This is officially me teaching and having this on record. So HR responsibilities, okay, when you're onboarding new reps, you send them to hr@simulcasttv.com, and this is the information that's needed. Okay, their name, their number, we need their email, and we need to know if they want Sales Rabbit, so yes or no to Sales Rabbit. Where they'll be selling, so what market are you guys in? Because when you call in, so what's happening is when the office is running your deal on the other end, so when the simulcast office is actually processing your orders, they look you up by market typically. And so if you're selling in like Nevada, but your market's Washington, they're not gonna find your name, which is fine because they can put it in the notes. But that's why I just need to know where a bulk of your sales will be coming. Okay, it's not the end of the world if they can't find you, but that's why we do this, okay? Where you'll be selling, who their manager is as well. Why is that important? Because on a Gemini, it categorizes based on manager. So for instance, let's say I am Taylor Bell's rep. If I go out and sell, Taylor doesn't know that I've sold unless he checks a Gemini. And if he checks a Gemini and he's my manager in a Gemini, he can see my sales. If not, now Taylor is going to the company and saying, hey, I can't see his sales, what's going on? So it's a really simple fix. Who their manager is, it's not necessarily saying like someone else owns you. That's ridiculous thinking. It's helping us track and be organized. Okay, it's giving us vision. And where there's no vision, the people perish. Okay, so we have to have vision here. We have to have organization and we have to have reporting. All right, official government ID is a new policy. In order to sell AT&T and DirecTV products, you have to have an ID. Okay, you have to. And it's got to be government official. So don't send in badge pictures for government official IDs. Okay, we need government official IDs. That's what we need. And we're not trying to be jerks. It's just, that is what we need. Okay? Send them here. HR then sends an email request for direct deposit and sends out the welcome email. The new welcome email is great, by the way. Not to toot my own horn, but it's well written. And so I like it. But we will send that out. Yeah, that has all the training material. Okay, any other HR roles? So loser breaker badge, HR. Polos, HR, which we have polos here on the table. So we can, oh nice, even folded, thank you. So yeah, our polos, if you need polos, we've got them here, but anyone who needs them ordered, HR. Lanyards, HR. Any other sales material, HR, okay? Not me, I'm not gonna get it to you in a timely manner. A Gemini and Sales Rabbit questions. Hey, I forgot my password on a Gemini. Robert, what can I do? And I say, click the forgot my password link. And then I get so many of those, and then I'm just like, I'm done with it. So HR, you go to HR. If you forget your password on a Gemini, there is a link. Click it. It says, I forgot my... No, it happens. It happens. And yes, you did it too. And it's crazy to me, but...
Gemini you're referring to, is that a manager portal of some sort?
No, it's actually how you can track your sales as well. So we're gonna do a brief training on it after this policy and procedure. So that way we've got it. And it's on our website. The biggest plug I have for this boot camp is like, we need to be using that website. I upload all the material on there. And you'll see it all over the slideshow. So, but any questions about specific customers as well? Guess what? I'm probably not the fastest. Just call. In fact, you can call Louise. So call her up. She has a number.
It is 592 3849.
With a 435 in front of that. So, but yeah, call that number. Call that number.
And if I don't answer it, leave a message. I'll get back.
Yep. What is it again? 435
435 592
592
3849.
3849. I have it saved in my phone. That actually, if you need that number and you have my number or email, you can email me. Or just email HR. Email HR for the number. In fact, in my number, not my number, in my email, I have a signature, and my signature has that number in it. So,
Well, and at the end of the HR and payroll, that number is there also.
correct. Every time you get an email from HR or payroll, that number's there. Okay, so that's HR, all right? So some people are like, what does HR do? That is HR's roles. So most of it goes to HR. In fact, with Louise managing the office, she bounces back and forth. So if you send something to payroll, it's not the end of the world, but we prefer it to go to the right place, okay? So there you go. Payroll responsibilities. Self-explanatory, okay? Payroll's responsibilities is to deal with pay. Anything pay related, send it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes DirecTV doesn't report things very well, and that's okay. I love them. They give me a job. Don't fire me. I appreciate DirecTV. But sometimes a cell will come through without an activation. We're not trying to steal your money. We're not trying to steal your activations. I promise. We get a lot more money by treating people good than by gouging them and getting more money short term. Okay, so it's actually in our best interest to treat you guys with the most respect as we can. And I'm gonna cover that in great detail tomorrow. All right, so anything pay related, please just send it to payroll@simulcasttv.com or reach out directly to Louise as well. And just say, hey, this is missing. So I just put on here in this slideshow, and I'll email this out to you guys too, because I know you're probably not seeing it on the website very well. But it just says look through your reports and let's make sure that you've got everything on there. Okay, Taylor, you've missed some activation. They missed some activations. Have you gotten paid those activations?
Everyone.
Okay, everyone is what he said. So and they have. I don't know why. They just they miss your activations. It's
Pretty good since.
yeah, it's crazy.
I check your accounts every time they come through.
Yeah,
And I add them because they're usually not there.
yeah, it's weird. They just
Then
don't.
I go to Iconic and I say, you owe me $50.
And then the crazy thing is, and then we.
I get it.
Yep, they give it to us a week later. So it's just after we've been paid, so we're just upfronting that money to you guys. So hey, I have an activation. We check your account, we make sure you have that activation, we see it, we pay you.
And that's why we send out the invoice Tuesday night.
Yep.
You get it
Or try
Tuesday
to.
night, payroll goes in Wednesday, so that gives us a chance to reconfigure, get a hold of Iconic, do whatever we need to do to make sure you get what you need. Because we want that to happen.
Yep. That's perfect. Thank you. So that's why the reports are there is what Louise was saying. We send reports for that reason. We want accurate reporting going straight to you. Transparency in an organization is key, especially in an inconsistent type of a profession, which I think commissions is the most consistent, but everybody has this stigma that it's not. So we want to provide you with consistency. All right, and then last thing I'll touch on, because I do get hit up for early pay. So obviously go to payroll first and say, hey, I need early pay. I've installed these accounts, I need early pay on them. Let me tell you the problem with early pay, okay? It's the reason that we have that pay set up how it is, it teaches reps to be good with their money, and it's how we get paid as well, but it helps the rep be good at money management. And in this industry, I would say 95% of sales reps, they get into a company, they make their money and they blow it, and then they make their money and they blow it, and they're not better off for it. And if I'm not helping you guys be better off, and he's laughing, if I'm not helping you be better off, I'm having problems, okay? That's my fault. I literally want you to be the best versions of yourself possible. I'm not just saying that. To me, there's nothing better than hearing, oh, I have $1,800 in my savings. I've never had a savings before. That to me, it means we're doing something better than just selling TV. Okay, TV to me is it's a vehicle. My business is you. Okay, that's my business. So if you need early pay, there's a lesson attached to early pay as well. Get it now usually means that you're putting off your goals for the future so that you can have instant gratification. I don't believe in that principle. So if you want pay right here, right now, okay, if you have the accounts to back it, we will pay you. There will be a 10% deduction. Okay, there will be. So if you get a $400 upfront, $440 is coming off a check. It's 10%. Yeah, $40. That's what I said. $440. Do your math. So 400 plus 40. Yeah, 10%. You got it. Richard's got it. So that is what it is. Okay, if you're taking $1,000 up front, That's $1,100, and that's $100 you're never going to see again. Okay, I'm not doing that because I want to get rich. I'm doing that because there's a lesson to be learned. Okay, and when we do that, we don't get a lot of people asking for early pay. I understand your first month. That's why I did put a clause on here. I get it. Some people, you come to a company and you have $0. I get it. Like I think everyone's been there at one point or another. I understand, but in the real world, if you go to a 9-to-5 job, they're not going to pay you early. You can't say, hey, I'm going to be worth $20 an hour in 5 years, so maybe if you could just pay me the difference now, that'd be really cool. Or hey, I plan on working 40 hours this week, so maybe if you just pay me today on that, would that be cool? And they'll go, yeah, we'll just hire someone else. Okay, so the fact of the matter is that's not the real world. It's not. So I'm not gonna do that. The real world is a payday loan that's gonna be 25% interest or 30%. Okay, 10% is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, most of it will be 20.
20% is a standard in the industry. But like I said, we try to be a cut above.
Security hustle.
Yeah, it is.
Most old kids do too.
And they do it all the time, huh? 20%, that is a standard, and that was what I was recommended to charge. I think 10% is fine, okay? All right, let me talk about me for just a second, what I'm good at, all right? I am not good at the things I just talked about in the last 2 slides, okay? Details, I'm good at details with people. I know about people's lives. I'm very good at noticing little details in the sales process. Organizational details, I don't want to have that in my brain. I would rather have, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday today, or oh, it's, you know what I mean? I need to do this, like this is coming up, this training needs to happen, this is how I can better my summer. That's what goes through my mind, okay? All day, every day, it's like, how can I better the company? This is my baby. You guys, like I said, you're my business. How can I better your lives? That's what I'm good at. I don't think, oh, I need to do this with the Gemini, and I need to do this with Sales Rabbit. That's why I partnered with Iconic as well, is because they handle a lot of that, which is beautiful for me. I'm not good at those little detail things, really not. Okay, so if you send it to me and I make a mistake, I'm gonna own up to it. Hey, I made a mistake. I didn't check your Gemini, but just understand that I'm probably not gonna do it. I'm probably not. You know. Let me tell you what I'm good at. Okay, selling and training. I'm a good salesman. I love selling. I think it's the most noble profession in this world. I don't think there's anything more genuine. I don't think there's anything better. Like, it has developed me into who I am today. Literally working for Vivint, a little plug for them, it really did change my life, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the managers I was surrounded with. I'm grateful for the VP over there that freaking helped me so much. I mean, I'm grateful for what I learned. I think selling is perfect, and I would love to teach you guys how to do it and how to do it the right way. Okay, so that's what I'm committed to doing. Let's get you selling great. Okay, that's what I want to do. I want to train. Developing training systems, helping you guys have a system so that when people come in, it's like a conveyor belt. They start at step 1, and by the end of the week, they're killers. Okay, by the end of this training, you're going to be killers. And I love training. I love it, and I love helping others develop my program. It's great. Recruiting, also love. Okay, I love recruiting. It's the best. There's nothing better to me. Sit down with recruits. My very, very favorite though is leadership development. So being able to develop a human being, that's the ultimate to me. Okay, and I've got some ways that I do that, and those are my strengths. Okay, so if you have any questions, and I'm talking from the top to bottom, so this is anyone out there on the website, like anyone watching this video, I will help you with sales, recruiting, training, and leadership development. Like I'll drop everything I'm doing. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, I want to be mentored by you, I will mentor you. I don't care who it is, okay? I'm not that great. I'm not too great for anyone, okay? I think that's the time that you really fall hard. So to me, I don't know, I'd rather just help. Anyone who asks, I will help you. I'm fine with that. And then obviously I put a little note here, you know, do the things you're good at. So for you guys as well, your strengths, do what you're good at. There's things, you know, Richard's good at. He's a great salesman. He's great, like better than I am probably. I mean, he sells lights out. He has a better clientele base than me. You know, he has a very vast clientele base. Something he's probably not good at is little minute details, like, right? Let HR do that, you know what I mean? Pass everything to HR. Boom, it all goes to HR. Don't take so much time doing little things. So anyway, yeah, they'll help you. That's it. Cool? Okay, a Gemini and Sales Rabbit. So your best training for those is on our website. Okay, this is a little plug for the website, the first plug of many. So it is, if you don't have this, write it down now. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's www.simulcasttv, so 2 T's, simulcasttv.com/team. Okay, and the password is lowercase team player. We will change that occasionally. So there will probably be a time where we're watching this where this is outdated, but we'll change that password and give out the new password to managers and things. That way it's just, we keep the relevant information within our company, you know. So to find it, it's pretty simple. If we had Wi-Fi, I would just do it now, but we don't have Wi-Fi at this cabin, so that's kind of frustrating. But you just click on manuals, it's right there, and you can click on technical info. I can actually pull it up on my phone right now. And the document that brings up, let me see if I can pull it up real quick on my computer, and I'll show you really quick what it's like, but technical info right there. Okay, so see, if you go in here, and this is on the website, you can download it as a Microsoft document. And here, I'll try to get out of the way of the camera. Essentially, it's got, so here's a Gemini on there, and it tells you the URL, it tells you how to log in, what your default login is, and it tells you how to pull up reports. So you can go into reports, production, and you can find out you can type in a specific date. So if you want to find out what you were paid, you can type in Friday through Thursday, and you can actually see how many completed you have that you're going to get paid on. So I love it. And I'll do it as the company too, just so we kind of know how much to prepare for. So in January, there was a couple where we had like 75 and 78. And so we just, click on those and see, okay, we've got 75, 78. That's going to take us roughly this long to create the report, send out to the reps. And we kind of knew, the payroll department knew what needed to happen. Okay. So it's a really good way. Sales Rabbit, this is probably the coolest training as far as it's very in-depth. Okay, I've taken some time on this. So be sure that you use this. It talks about canvassing, what different tabs do, and then you can honestly just play around with it. Okay, and it actually goes into how to submit a deal as well. I'm not going to go into this in great detail because managers can help you with, but it talks about area management, how to leave pins. Unless, Richard can't help, huh? Richard's pretty bad. So,
Leaving pins?
So look, you can actually update individual homes. So see, that's what this first one.
I guess the question I had is some of our other software is not Sales Rabbit, allows you to leave a pin where a home is not populating. Because there's a lot of areas.
Yeah, you can do that.
Homes, and there's no way to drop a pin in there that's not on a home that's already populated.
Yes. So you just hold down on wherever. So you just hold it down on the canvas. So if you have an area and there's a home and there's no notes on it and no one lives there, hold it down. It'll pop down a thing, and you can type in you could click it as other, and then in the notes you could put no one lives there. So you absolutely can do that.
But in a house that's not populated initially, when the area is assigned?
Yeah. You can.
Try that.
You just hold down your finger on it. It will drop. Yeah, try it again. And
we'll get in touch. Because I was
perfect.
trying to get in touch with Sales Rabbit to say we need that functionality.
Yeah. Well, and Sales Rabbit, they're not the greatest, but they do a good job. They do a fantastic job. It's good. Yeah. So
Like all tools, they can sharpen the pencil a little.
exactly. But I think they do a good job. They
If we can drop a pin, that's great, because we got a lot of places where you get into a development and there's all kinds of new homes.
Yep.
Huge addition to the complex that wasn't there, and so they're not populating, and we want to drop pins in there because we're finding things.
Yeah, sometimes I get a little lazy, and I'll just go out and not grid my own area, and I just leave pins. So I don't even have an area, and I'm just leaving pins. Yeah. I'll show you how to do that. Okay. And then I actually talk about area management a little bit in here, even though we're going to cover that in depth on the sales training. Because look, this is what an area should look like, and actually Taylor ran a little blitz training, and I don't know if you used mine or if I was logged into yours, but I looked and it looked like this. So it was really, really good. And obviously he cleans house. So what I have found, I don't want to go on too big of a tangent, but what I found is I sell a lot more when I stay in an area. And so, but I'll get more into that in the training. So sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Anyway, so here's Sales Rabbit tools that you have, the bill calculator, sketchboard, channel guide. I mean, clicking on these, it's really cool. So, and then look, here it is, filling out customer information. This is what you need. So it's all right there. It shows boom, 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 boom. Okay, this is what you need. And you can fill that out, hit submit, they sign it, and then you literally just call in the deal. There it is right there. And I'm sure, and yeah, leaderboards, you can see who, they have to have Sales Rabbit, so the information's not always up to date. Like, you know, some people are selling and it's not actually pulling up on Sales Rabbit, but it's pretty accurate. And that way you can check with the company and see how you're doing. So on days, you know, you'll pop on there and see, okay, Alex Shrout, 2, boom, 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 you know. And if you're in a throwdown, that's a good way to monitor as well. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose. I'm not losing to some chump. So, there you go. That's kind of that's your Sales Rabbit crash course. This, you got to read this. And I know that a lot of people haven't read this, if anyone in this room, you know what I mean? I know you don't go through it, and that's okay. It's just, we need to take the time to do it. So when the time for performance has come, the time for preparation is past. When you want to go out and sell, and you want to go out and succeed, if you're not putting in time beforehand, your experience is not going to be as favorable. And especially those going on since the summer program, these are documents you need to read. You know, you need to. It's just, you know,
Preparation leads to separation.
correct. I like that. Preparation leads to separation. It's a good.
Russell Wilson.
That's Russell Wilson who said that? Okay, that's great. Obviously, yeah, you need to prepare. So please read those things, okay? Please go on the website. It's fantastic. It really is. Okay, let's talk about quality. So there are metrics that keep our business running smooth. And it's some reps will see this as like, oh, you guys are just trying to deduct. We're not, I promise. It's just, we want to protect the longevity of this business, because think about it this way. So if I got greedy, let's say Dane comes on and he sells 25 accounts, and I'm like, heck yeah. And they're a bunch of 1 and 2 stars, or they're not on auto pay, and they're not really good quality sales. And I'm just thinking, dude, I'm making money on these 25 sales. This is great. Well, there does come a time where you have to pay the piper. Okay, there comes a time where a lot of those are going to charge back, and then guess what happens? Now Dane's not making money on his new sales. So by not being firm at the beginning and saying, hey, here's these metrics, I've actually done him a huge disservice. And I have had reps in this company, and I to this day regret what I did. But I didn't set them up on holdbacks, so I wasn't doing the $20 holdbacks, and I wasn't doing additional charges for 1 and 2 stars over 25%. Well, guess what happened? They got 25% or 30% chargeback, like huge amounts of chargeback. One of these reps in particular had to file bankruptcy, and I feel like that's my fault. And I hate that, and I will never do that again. And so these metrics are firm. They're non-negotiable, because they get charged to us. They're gonna get charged to you. It makes sense, okay? It's gonna help us to run a clean business, because when it comes down to it, you guys, 99 reps, 100 reps are more important to me than one person who comes in and sells a bunch of volume and puts everyone else's job in danger. Like, we run this company clean because we want you to have a job in 5 years and 10 years and 20 years. We need this opportunity to be around for people. So this is not me being rude. This is me being smart. And this is me helping grow a business on the right foundation so we can scale, okay? 1 and 2 stars must be less than 25% of our total volume, period. If you're selling, which you'd have to almost try, but there are people out there that do sell 1 and 2 star greater than 25%. If that's happening, there will be an extra $30 charge on every 1 and 2 star, okay? Until you get under 25% like that, you are going to be hit with a $30 deduction. That's non-refundable, okay? So there's a $20 holdback plus that, okay? 1 and 2 star accounts are the highest statistic for chargebacks. So the nice thing is too, so let's say if you're getting paid $200 on a deal, and now that deal's worth $150 up front, when it charges back, which most time it will, especially if it has Spanish programming, like 1 and 2 stars, Spanish programming is by far the highest statistic. And it is what it is, okay? We just have to say it as it is. So if you're setting up a 1 and 2 star, Spanish programming, optimal Moss packaging, it's probably gonna charge back. Like, just be ready to consider it a payday loan. It's coming back, okay? So we obviously have those charges on there for a reason. You're gonna get charged back $150 instead of $200. It's not gonna hurt your check as bad in the future, okay? Also, up to 80% of our accounts on auto pay. Reason why is because if it's not on auto pay and they don't pay their bill, obviously it's charged back, okay? So really shoot for auto pay happening. There's no deduction if you put it on invoice, that's fine. It's just if this is a continuing thing and you have lower than 80% over and over again, we're gonna have to do another $30 deduction on non-auto pay accounts, okay? So just realize that's the 80%. So 8 out of 10 have auto pay. If they wanna call into DirecTV later and switch it, they can, because some people do pay their bill online, that's fine. They can do that, but we need to set it up auto pay from the card. And that way, the reason why that they want that done is, let's say Mr. Jones doesn't pay his bill, but he has his card on file, they can actually default to that. So so they'll send a paper bill, he calls in and says, hey, I want a paper bill, but he's already been set up for auto pay on the card. So they're sending paper bill, don't hear from him, they can then call or they can deduct that from his card. So that way it's not gonna be a chargeback. He keeps TV, he doesn't call you ticked off. There's no late fees, like I promise. Set it up on auto pay, it's better for the customer, it's better for us. It really is, okay? It just avoids complications. And that's what I put on here. They forget to check their email. On this as well, please provide a valid email on your accounts. Like, it's so dumb to do a faulty email. You will get a chargeback on that because most of their notifications come by email. And even if they sign up for direct or for not auto bill, what am I thinking, invoice, it comes email first. So they send the invoice to their email. So if they don't have a valid email, like that's a chargeback.
What if they don't have email?
You can set it up for them, help them out. So with that, yeah, you will run into a couple of like elderly families that don't have an email or they don't have, they really want to just do direct deposit. I mean, not direct deposit, invoice. If that's the case, you're going to have it. I mean, it's going to happen. Set it up. It's fine. Just don't set up multiple. Okay. Fraud. Let's talk about fraud for a second. We're going to talk about chargebacks for after this one. So fraud include but are not limited to. So DirecTV to DirecTV. Okay. So customers tells you, hey, I've had DirecTV for 7 years and my bill's like $180 and I don't want to switch to Dish and I don't want to switch to Xfinity. Can you please just set me up again? And you say, sure. That's a fraud account. And if you do like multiple of those, you will be fired. Okay, they're instant chargebacks and they're mean chargebacks. They're like crazy. Like we get charged more than they're paid. So that needs to be in your, like, don't do it. Just don't do it. Yeah.
How long do they have to have been off direct in order to reset it?
Great question. He just asked how long they've been off or how long they have to be off before you can reset them up. 2 years is what.
Their bill is zero balance.
Yep, and their bill has to be a zero balance. See, some people will be like, this bill's outrageous. I'm just gonna switch and I'm not gonna pay my bill. It happens more, I don't get it. And then you like try to set them up, it gets flagged, and they have a $339 balance. Like, pay your bill, dude. I know, I'm looking at you. It happens, the thing is it happens, but what you gotta do.
Well, I think that guy, it's only been like a year and a half since he had direct.
Oh, see, and that's why I got flagged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he said he hasn't put it back. We gotta talk. I talked to
Cool.
Taylor about it already, so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, away from it 2 years, you can't set it up under the husband. You can't set it up under another person's name. Don't do it under another address because we're going to get to that. Like, so using another name to qualify a customer doesn't qualify. Let's just think about this for 2 seconds. So I'm in a house with somebody who doesn't have good enough credit to get TV, okay? Probably not going to pay their bill. I'm just saying it's probably going to be a chargeback. And then the rep goes to the great length of saying, okay, well, since you don't qualify, let's just try to run it under someone else's name. That'll work, right? So then they like start trying other names. And then a name comes back and it works. Oh, they qualified. They qualified 5-star. Yeah, they can white page it. You can get online and white page it. Okay, so they just white page Robert Lawrence, or you know what I mean, or white page that address and whoever lived at it before. So let's say Kathy lived at that address 7 years ago. Well, then now it's Kathy, and then it's like, oh, your name's no longer Monica, it's now Kathy. And this happens. People do this. I don't get it. If The customer you're with doesn't have the credit to pay the bill, it's a chargeback. Like that's gonna charge back. So not only did you just commit fraud, but like it's coming back, even if it's a 5-star.
People have been trying to beat the system for 20 years. You're not going to have to do anything, and go ahead and try already.
Yeah, and that's true. And there are,
Next door.
we'll talk about it tomorrow a little bit. There are a batch of reps out there that as soon as they can find somewhere where they can toss deals in and not get flagged, they'll come and they'll just try. And we've had a couple of those groups come and they're gone. You know what I mean? We've cut a lot of that. Data manipulation as well. So what data manipulation is if you're in a house, you've ran it on SalesRabbit that don't qualify, you've called in, they don't qualify. Well, the neighbor might, so now you're gonna change the address. So it's still Robert Lawrence, but now it's 1501 instead of 1500. And then, oh, that didn't work, so 1502. Well, that's not working, so now let's manipulate the name. So now we're trying Haley Lawrence under 1502. Oh, it came back 5-star, cool. Well, but once again, what's the problem here? The problem is you're sitting down with somebody who didn't pay their bill before and has a 0 credit. Like, they're probably not gonna pay. So understand, I know that like you wanna make quick cash, I get it. We've all been, but you are. Just think about it logically for 2 seconds. If they're a no-star credit, like if they don't qualify for DirecTV, they're not paying their bill. Like you need to understand that, okay? This isn't a car, this isn't a house, this is freaking TV, $60 a month. They're not qualifying for it based on credit. There's a reason why they're getting flagged. And there's a reason why DirecTV doesn't want to pay us to set up that customer, okay? There's a reason. All right, so fraud as well. The punishment for fraud, okay, you're terminated without pay. You don't get your holdback money back, like you're done, okay? When we catch fraud, and then obviously we have to confirm it, but we have confirmed it in the past, we're not paying back for 2 reasons. One, obviously we know those accounts are coming back in the future, so we put that money aside. We don't spend it, we just put it aside, okay? Part 2 is just with it, and I put it on here, good, I just wanna make sure I have the notes. So I'm not gonna endanger the company, okay? I'm not gonna put you guys at risk. I'm not gonna take on additional risk because I know that you are putting your faith in me and into Simulcast, and I appreciate that more than you know. So I'm not going to ruin this opportunity. And so call it what you will, but it's just, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put my family at risk, I'm not gonna put your families at risk. It's not happening. So chargebacks, just a major cause of chargebacks, because we've had some people question, hey, why am I getting chargebacks? And so we just want to be clear. That's an oversight on our end that we didn't say anything. So let's teach you now. So chargebacks occur when customers either stop paying their bill, so it's a non-pay disconnect is what it's called, or they just buy out their cancellation. So if I have 20 months left, it's $20 times 20 months, and I just say, I don't want DirecTV, I'm paying $400 to get out of my contract, that's a chargeback for us. Even though DirecTV made $400, like we still get a chargeback, which is too bad. So when it occurs, the money's just taken out of your check, okay? So let's say I've got 10 installs, but I had a chargeback from a long time ago. So I'm expecting, let's say $2,300 on my paycheck. Well, I was paid $200 for this sell before. That's coming out of that check. So, and then obviously the $20 that's held back is coming out as well. And I'm gonna talk about the holdback right now just because I know I haven't really told you what the holdback is. So to teach you about a holdback, so on every single account that you sell, there will be a holdback. So let's say the sell is worth $200. $20 is held back. It's not a percentage, it's just 20 bucks. So if you hit the highest pay level and you're making, $250, $300 a sell, it's still just 20 bucks. What happens with that money is it's put aside in essentially like a savings fund for you. And then after the year, so after October 1st to October 1st, you get paid in February. So like Richard was able to get a little pop, and actually has a huge pop coming for next, and he's not even close to done yet, but he'll have a great pop coming, next February. But he got paid out on a few accounts because he started late in the year last year, but he got paid out, over $1,000. So that was good, But essentially what that's for, so we don't want to hold that forever. We're just holding it back because, hey, if you have chargebacks, well, there's 2 reasons we hold it back. One, if you have chargebacks and you are in like dire need of money right then and there, we can use that fund. So we could take the chargeback out of that fund. That's one option. That's not an option I like to use. That to me is kind of the same thing as paying upfront pay and getting a 10% deduction on it. Like if you can just wait, you get a savings account. Like literally you'll probably get a $3,000-$4,000 pop. You know what I mean? Just for living, So get that money and do something with it. Don't spend it. Don't blow it. Like, use 1,000 of it as an emergency fund. You know what I mean? So I really don't want you to use it. Other reason that we hold that back is, let's say you get some guy who comes on board and he throws in 10 deals and they're all fraud, but you got paid for them already and we didn't catch the fraud, and he's long gone, he's on another company. At least we have $400 to cover. You know what I mean? Well, $200, sorry, if he does 10 accounts. So at least we have $200. It's not a lot, but it's enough to help us cover. So obviously he's not gonna get paid that money unless nothing charges back. Okay, if nothing charges back for the whole year, yeah, he'll get paid that money. Okay, he'll get paid back. So I believe in paying everybody 100% what they owe, because if I don't, then that's condemning me, one, and two, it's gonna weigh heavily on me, and I can't grow that way. So I'd rather you guys know, like, I'm gonna be up front and do business the right way than, and some people counsel me to keep it. I'm not gonna keep it. Okay, I think it's smart just to pay it. It's better to pay. Okay, so anyway, and on this slide, I've got some of that. So when I send it out to you, you guys, it'll make more sense. And we talk about an emergency fund on here to achieve financial freedom. Use your chargeback money for that, your holdback money. Okay, but does that make sense on what a chargeback is and kind of the $20 hold, why we do that? I just want to be transparent with you guys. So, yes?
If they voluntarily disconnect after 23 months, you still get charged back the whole amount?
No, so after a year, chargebacks don't happen. So if they keep it for a year, so after the 12-month period, we're safe. Within 12 months.
Disconnect after 12 months, even though it's a 2-year contract.
Yep. So they could buy out their contract second year and no penalty.
Okay.
So thank you. That's a huge question. I should have put that on there. So luckily now we have it spoken. So okay, that is pretty much that. Okay, I want to get into just a couple other things and then we'll take a lunch break. So let's jump into equipment channel price, the classic ECP. All right, guys. Well, here you go. So the next portion we're going to talk about, and then lunchtime. So we're going to go over equipment, channels, and price. And this is how, tomorrow we'll talk about training reps, but this is how I train. So this is my first classroom setting. I put it up behind me. So this is our website, and I just clicked module 2, and I can go on to equipment basics, channel and pricing, popular channels, all of that, okay? So this is on the website, just like this. I'll run it in an actual slideshow for you. So I'm not gonna take a lot of time on this at all. I'm gonna blitz through these 3 things because I feel like you guys can go on and study it on your own. But long and short, on this, we have kind of how you can differentiate the satellites. You can see where the dishes are, so you can hunt the dishes and switch them. Okay, how you differentiate and know, hey, there's DirecTV. Here's some examples of the front. I talk about receivers because I know not everyone's familiar with TV. I wasn't. It's funny. Like, I was selling these things and people were asking me the most basic questions, and I was like, I have no idea what you're saying. I had no clue. They're like, well, what about this? And can I do this with these tuners? And yeah, that is just terrible on there. That lighting's so bad. Well, I'll blitz through it. And I just tell them, I don't know. So this way this is the basic of the basics. So my recruiting days, or my first training day, I just give them this basic stuff. And I give them a test as well. So on the website, there's tests, and they can take those, and they need to take those. You know what I mean? You need to have guys taking those tests. But this is how receivers work, how tuners work, okay? What a tuner is, the old dish receivers, how to read those. You know what I mean? The first edition hoppers and what those can do. Obviously, and then I actually put the newer hoppers on here, hopper with sling and the hopper 3. Hopper 3 is pretty sweet. It really is way sweet. So if they have a hopper 3, they're probably in contract, okay? It goes over the Genie and what it is. So I know I'm just blasting through this, I'm sorry. But yeah, you're just like, oh geez, and same, Amanda, sorry. But this is stuff that, in your trainings and in your meetings, you can go over. Also, please go over it on your own. And there are tests. And I put Michael Jordan on this. And there was an ESPN Classic game on last night, the Bulls and Lakers, 1991. And Michael Jordan was just balling out of control. So I'm glad we got to see that. So what this module 2 has on it, it's going to help you understand. So when you're with a customer and talking about channels, you don't need to know it all. I don't know it all, because on Sales Rabbit they have the channel selector, so that can help you significantly. You get on there, type in the channels, and it will tell you what package you should sell them. Like it tells you, hey, this is, and honestly, our commission doesn't change based on package. So it is advantageous for us to sell the lowest package that gives them everything they want. Okay, you just want to make sure that you're providing the need. I mean, that's sales in general. So channels and pricing is on there, and popular channels, I love that document because it kind of has like where AMC is and which a lot of them are on select. A lot of the most popular channels are select, but a lot of the better sports channels are on choice, you know? So it'll tell you that though. If you can get the sports channels right, 9 times out of 10, you've got it. I mean, literally, if you get sports channels, oh, I want golf, this and that and that. Okay, you know golf's on the extra package, get them extra. Get them extra. So, popular channels, pricing sheet. I mean, that was very self-explanatory. It's very simple what the pricing is, and then calling in a sale. These modules, so you can take these tests, and I really want you to. So module 1 basic, you can take the test if it would load. Oh, sweet, it loaded. Okay, so on here, you can see like you have your rep has to put in the email, their first and last, and today's date, because then it's gonna actually track their performance. So then I can send this back to the manager and say, okay, hey, Amanda took her test, like she knows the stuff. So, I mean, and there's some dumb, like really simple questions, but honestly, like this is what people ask me, like, do I have to have a satellite to receive TV? Yes, okay. Although now it is a dual input system, so just on a quick side note on AT&T DirecTV, so it can be a dual input, so it goes off of internet and satellite, which is great. So it's actually double coverage. So it's better to have DirecTV now than it's ever been before. Also, with them being able to have it on their devices, they can stream that anytime, and they have 72-hour playback now. So if they're missing a show, they have 72-hour playback. They can go back 72 hours and watch whatever. So it's phenomenal. So that's some things that I need to add into this that I don't have. But the box that plugs into your TV that you can control with your remote, like what is that called? Your receiver. And you just click on those and take the test. Okay, the tests are really important. Because I don't know, it's the simplicity of it. What's often like commonplace isn't often common practice. And doing those simple things over time will set you apart. The people that read books in this company that I assign, the monthly book, like they do very well. And the new reps that come in and do these programs, they are months ahead. And you have to think about it in a momentum standpoint. If somebody comes in and they know about equipment and channels and price, like they know what's going on, their confidence is here. So you talked about confidence.
Yeah.
Competence creates confidence.
It's true.
That's it. So if you have a rep that comes in and they're competent and they feel like they know what's going on, they're confident, period. And this is a way to be confident. If you study this and your reps pass these tests, like they know more than 99% of people about TV. Yes.
Is there a way to get a list of what the...
But, so yes, and with those, there's options. So the initial question was, can I get a list of local channels? So local channels, they come standard in any package. As far as a list of them, you just got to know it's your Fox News, your ABC, your things like that. So is there a way to get a list? Probably Google is your best bet. I don't have like a list of what local channels are, but local channels are the locals, and you do get the locals every time. There's a few times where like Dish hasn't landed a negotiation, and that's great because then we can go in and like switch to direct a bunch. So,
Easiest way to do it, call DirecTV as if you're going to be a brand new customer and call corporate, give them some address, give them a fake name, say, sign up, I want them about the local channels, I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah.
that's true.
And they say, I'll call you back.
Yep. Yeah, we have information so readily at our fingertips, especially I Google. So when I get a call about channels and stuff, if I'm at my computer, I just look it up. I just Google, does this have this? Enter. Channel 680, like for Root Sports, Root Rocky Mountain, 681. I looked that up when I very, very first started doing TV because I just didn't know, oh, do we have Root? Looked it up, 681, oh, cool, we have it, So we have information. So this is a huge thing. I mean, that's a fair question, but as far as your locals go, if you just like ask them, do you watch your locals? And like, yeah, they're getting their locals. So on select package, they get locals. No matter what they get locals.
You get locals just like that.
Yep. It's standard with every package. So That's why, I don't know. Yeah, that's why I really focus on just the sports so much. I really do. With new reps, because with new reps coming into your organization, you really do. You don't want to give them too much and like water hose. Same thing. It's why I'm limiting this information I'm giving you, because there's other information that's going to take up a lot of headspace today, and so I am really trying to kind of monitor that. So I'm just going to go over these notes and make sure I'm not missing anything. So yeah, so training webpage, the DirecTV basics. You can find equipment. Additional. Here's a couple things I do want to talk about, and they're not on here. So there's additional charge equipment. Actually, they are. Just kidding. They are on the website. But wireless minis. So if somebody wants wireless boxes, meaning, so the main box still has to have a wire on it, the main receiver, but the other boxes in other rooms, they can move them around at their leisure. Okay, that's a wireless mini is what it's called. Whether they get 2 wireless minis or, so 2 TVs total or 4 TVs, up to 4 TVs, it's $100 up front. Okay, and DirecTV charges that. Boom. A wireless box though, the benefits are it doesn't have to be plugged into a little cable in the wall, the coax cable. It doesn't have to be plugged into that. So they can move it anytime, anywhere. So if we have a sweet flat screen in here and there was a coax there, if we had our box, our TV would have to be here. This would have to be where it was at. But if not, we could move it around and you could move it here and there and wherever. Okay, that's the benefits of a wireless. So people will ask you about that, let them know it's $100. And I haven't done the best job of teaching that, so here we go. Now I can't be held accountable. Pole mount. Okay, if a customer does not want a satellite on their roof, they can get a pole mounted in their yard. Okay, a pole, and then they get the DirecTV on it. Okay, it looks pretty good. You know, sometimes they can be unsightly if we have to go way out, but it's a pretty sleek. Yeah, it's a pretty sleek install. $50.
$50?
Yeah, $50. If you have techs, which we did have this scenario in Waco where they were trying to gouge the heck out of customers, you need to sit down with your tech and let them know they don't get cash, they don't get a check for that. It's charged off the card and they get paid through Iconic. So I've handed over the technician stuff to Iconic because it was taking up 6 hours of my day. And so I'm so glad I don't handle technicians anymore, what I used to. So now we have resources. So just know that. If you ever have that happen again, that was crazy, huh? He was charging so much. Okay, channels can be found on the training page. Okay, additional. So here's the information that I use. DirecTV.com has very, very up-to-date information. So DirecTV.com, you can look up package info on any specific channels. They've made it really user-friendly as well. And I pull that out in people's homes. So there's no reason, really there is no reason to call up somebody and say, hey, what channels? Like there's no reason. All you have to tell the customer is just, hey, you know, if you're getting your sports, you got everything you want. And if that's not good enough, that's fine. Then you just say, I'm new. Just use the new card. It's totally fine. I'm new. Let's just look it up online. Okay. If all else fails, Google it up. That's in my notes. So if all else fails, Google it up. And then the last thing is there are 2 sports packages or additional packages that you want to know about. So one, write this down. It's the sports pack is what it's called. It's just called the HD sports pack or whatever. Actually, I don't even think it's HD. I think it's just sports pack. And that gives them,
Not multi-sport pack?
No, it's just sports pack.
Dish is multi-sport.
Yeah. So it's $14 a month extra. It's $13.99. So you could sell somebody a select package at $50, add the sports pack. They don't get the NFL Sunday ticket free for a year, but they do get every, and I'm talking like every sports channel besides Pac-12. We don't have Pac-12. But they get Longhorn Network, they get Comcast Sports. I don't know how they get the channels they get, but they get like all the root sports. So I could watch the Houston, it's awesome. So that's the kind of package, like for me, that's what I like. I only like sports. So give me select, you sell me select, and you sell me the sports pack add-on, and it's $64 a month. So but you get every sports channel. Every sports channel. It's amazing.
People that don't want extra.
Yep.
On the golf channel, just do that.
Yeah, because the extra pack, so extra, he just brought up, if someone wants golf channel and all the other sports channels, rather than selling them extra, because that's $70 a month, you can sell them the basic with the add-on. It's $64 a month.
Yeah, it saves them money.
Saves them money and gives them a way better. I mean, it gives them European soccer. It gives them like everything.
Man, I want that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's it.
It's a,
For that soccer guy.
so people will ask,
Yeah, you beat the games. So sick.
oh, you get everything. So everything besides Pac-12. So people are like, how can I watch my Spurs games? How can I watch it? How can I watch it? This is how you watch it. I mean, it's,
We're the leader in sports in HD.
oh yeah, absolutely. DirecTV is. That is a good plug for them. They are the HD sports leaders, period. They have the best networks. So, I don't know, man.
So it's like a
So you need to know about the sports package. Just that's all it's called. When you call into the call center to set up the deal, you just let them know they want the sports pack. And you can find it on, you can write this down too, but you can find this on the DirecTV web page. So they have it right there on their homepage. So, sports pack. And then the other one is called HD Extra. And the reason why you want to know about this is because you're going to have at least one customer per week ask you about Hallmark movies and mystery.
always.
And it is like everyone's, I don't know, it's like the bane of mid-aged women. They love it.
What
They
is
love it.
called? HD what?
It's called HD Extra, and it gives them that. It gives them the Smithsonian. It gives them MGM. It gives them 10 movie channels for $5. Sony. It's only $5 more a month. It's a sweet package. But the reason why you want it is because a lot of people are going to get the choice package. Like the choice package is a great all around. It gives you enough sports. It gives you like, that's my favorite package per se. But I'm a huge sports guy, so I'm kind of out there. But a lot of people just want to watch their local sports. Choice gives them the local sports channels. So Choice is a great package. Anyway, what Choice does not give them is Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. Hallmark Movies and Mysteries is on Select, Entertainment, and then it's not on any other one but Premiere.
Which is so weird.
Yeah, so it's on the first two basic ones. So if they just want Select, they get Hallmark Movies and Mystery. They don't need the HD Extra.
You get choice, you don't get it? That's the weirdest thing I've ever.
Way weird, huh? Yeah, so that is Hallmark Movies and Mystery. I promise someone will ask you about it. Do I get my Hallmark channels? And if you hear the S, then specify. Are you talking Hallmark Movies and Mystery? Oh, I love Hallmark Movies and Mystery. Okay, this is what we have to do. Okay, and they will.
Is that a third Hallmark channel?
It's a,
Hallmark movie channels, Hallmark movies.
that's the same. That's actually the same. Hallmark Movies is Hallmark Movies and Mystery.
What were the two packages? It was
So HD Extra will give you the Hallmark.
without that.
Oh, the two packages. It's Select and Entertainment. The two basic ones, which you can find that if this dang thing would pull up channels and pricing.
So the HD Extra has Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
It's weird that's not loading. I wonder if maybe we'll have to look into that on the website.
Does it have all of them?
But does it have like the theater?
Probably somewhere. So, that would help. What's it called? Channels,
Yeah. No, it's-
channel and pricing. Here, let's do this.
It has those 10 like channels.
Channel and pricing. Let's see if I can. I forgot. Well, here I'll find it for you guys. It's important enough. But yeah, long story short, you need to know about those two add-ons, and I haven't trained on those super well. So once again, now we do have it. Module 2.
I don't think that'd be on the website.
Yeah, it's not on the website. So, but yeah, your basic understanding chart. See, and then we just made it look nicer than this one. So, but this one kind of goes over. This is on the website. It'll go over your Select, Entertainment, Choice, kind of what sports channels are in each, what the base price is. But really, you always want the all-included price right here. Like that's what you're gonna want to sell. Is just that it's a better deal for them. So give them the all-included price. DVR plus 4 TVs. So if they have 4 TVs, it's $60 a month for Choice, and they're probably paying $110 to Dish. Like it's awesome. So,
So
but yeah, Select and yes,
clarify that Hallmark movie channel is
Yep.
not in Choice, Extra, or Ultimate?
correct. So Hallmark Movie and Mystery is not in Choice, Extra, or Ultimate. Only in Select, Entertainment, and Premiere. So weird. And when you type it in your channel thing on Sales Rabbit, it will show you that. It has ... blanks ... It's weird. So dumb. But anyway, so that HD Extra, you want that arrow in your quiver for sure. Okay, and notice on this, by the way, I just added sports networks. That's it. Okay. And then price can be found on our website, and directtv.com has reliable information, but Google does not. So if you're looking for pricing, our website is valid, Sales Rabbit actually has a channel, and not a channel sheet, but a pricing sheet in it, so you should use Sales Rabbits. Google is not reliable.
Carry this with you.
Perfect. See, that's exactly it. Yes, thank you. That's money in the bank. Okay. So prices and promotional gift cards can change every 4 months or so. So make sure that you're checking your emails. And also on our webpage, on that homepage, we're going to start putting news feed on there. So check the website regularly. Get on there because we'll put our news feed on there. So when I get new promotions, for instance, I just emailed out the new promotion. I don't know if you guys saw it, but well, the $100 gift card plus if they have AT&T, they can upgrade. So they can upgrade their cell phones or switch. So even in Cedar City, let's say they have Verizon. If they switch to AT&T, they can get unlimited data and they get $25 off their TV for life.
Now, life?
For life.
I thought it was 1 year.
It's life. So for DirecTV,
I'm already with AT&T.
you can upgrade to an unlimited plan. So let's say it's $10 more per month or $15 more per month to upgrade to an unlimited plan and get $25 off your TV for life.
Yeah,
For life.
so spend 10 to save 25.
Yep, exactly.
All you gotta do is get auto pay, right? On your cell phone?
Yep, that's it. It's really, really simple.
Yeah.
So there's like promotions like that I'm going to throw out there, and they're really putting a lot of money into their offer, you know, and so that's kind of why actually they've given us so much problem with these bundles. They're like, you need a bundle because we are making our offer so great, and then we've had some issues, but luckily the bundling is becoming smoother, and I'm grateful for that. Okay, so your 2-year price lock, just letting you guys know, it's only good for an AT&T bundle. So they have to bundle their bill to get a 2-year price lock. If not, their bill's going to go up 30 or 40 bucks the next year. Okay, for the second year, it goes up. Prices and promotional gift cards can change. I already said that. Okay, so that is equipment channels price. When you're training new reps, and this is more on tomorrow, you want to make sure they understand this. I know that I have not given you an understanding. This is not a good example of how I would train on these things, but we're going to hit so much training today. So, okay, that is it. I think that's all of the quote unquote boring stuff I'm going to cover today. So thanks for bearing with me on that. We're going to get some lunch going. And then when we come back, it's going to be all sales training for the rest of the day. We'll do sales training, and then tomorrow we'll do some development and leadership and recruiting. Okay? So thank you. That's it for now. Portion 1. So let's do that. Let's go over the sales cycle real quick. So on the website, I have training videos as well. So I'm going to try to hit it a little different angle than what I did on the website. And I'm just going to be a little bit more personable for this. I'm not really going to go as much into my notes. I just want to hit it like I would do it, because that's a big complaint too, right? How we train isn't always how it actually happens. In this cell, I promise you it is. So what I'm going to go over today is exactly how I experience the job. It's how I experience it in homes. It's the kind of resistance I get, what I don't get, how I say it. It is how you say it, right? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. That is a true principle. So first and foremost, let's talk a little bit. I guess I will look at my notes just to make sure I don't miss anything real important. But, okay, I think that's good. I do want to put one principle out there just because this is a principle that's not taught a lot. So in selling in general, I really like to give bad news as well, okay? I like to get bad news out, because as soon as you have bad news out there, people know that you're being legit. People know you're being genuine. So in this, I'm never like the give me guy. And when I recruit guys, I'm not either, okay? There's the downside to simulcast, we're pretty small. You know what I mean? The downside to simulcast, we don't have like a million different wardrobes like Vivint. Like we don't have that. And then people go, okay, cool. I can respect that. What do we have? We have some pretty sweet stuff. You know what I mean? As far as the training program, as far as how to recruit properly, I've got that, okay? We've got that. We have a system. We've got online training, and we do these boot camps and we have fun. Like Vivint doesn't do that, you know, or other companies don't do that. So there's things we have, and then all of a sudden you know that I'm being legit when I do that. So in the sales cycle, in this presentation and everything that you're doing, you have to give bad news as well. And when I give bad news, this is what it is. Is it a contract? Of course it's a contract. I learned that at Vivint. Of course it's a contract, it's 5 years. Really? Yeah, it's 5 years. Everyone's doing it. Okay, cool, I'll do it too. It's weird, like, yeah, dude, it's 5 years. Okay. Everything's a contract, dude. Your house is a contract. Oh yeah, it's a contract, you know. So just things like that. I like to give bad news. So that's really my only overview thing I wanted to hit with you. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it, guys.
Call it a contract, they call it peace of mind.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's things like that in alarms. This, you're not gonna run into any issues with TV. Like, I've never, never once. Okay, so let's start off. So this is, in life, okay, everything in life is sales, period. It just is. If you say, I'm not a salesman, I'm not confident, I'm not whatever, you're lying. So essentially, you're lying, because think about it. When you get a job, you're selling yourself on why you should be the candidate for that position. Like, that's it. When you're doing a nonprofit thing, like, you're selling investors on investing in your idea. Okay, when even athletes, like, they perform, but there's things that happen off the field that gets them the edge. There's better athletes who are not playing in the NFL. Like, there's better athletes that are not playing in the NBA. Better dunkers that aren't in the NBA. Like, how did they get there? They worked their networks, they did this, and they did it extremely well. Dating as well, and I kind of like that example just because that's real life for everybody. So I'm actually going to apply dating really quick to the sales cycle and show you how this really, like, everything in life is sales. So prospecting, this essentially is the art of finding your most likely buyer in that moment. Okay, so when you're prospecting, you are essentially in the dating world, you're looking for, you know, someone attractive to you, someone who kind of gives you the butterflies, whatever it might be. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just a blanket search. So in TV, prospecting is very simple. When you get dropped off, what do I do? This is the most overlooked principle in all of sales world. Even the best companies overlook that. And so as soon as we started training right on that, we've been around just about 13 months. We did 2,000 accounts, and this is why. Okay, we just taught to prospect. Okay, brand new startup company. I'd never sold a TV in my life. I don't know the TV industry at all. We did 2,000 accounts. So, and we haven't had a summer team. So it's pretty good. We just topped that, and I'm proud of you guys for that, and I appreciate that, but I know that that's why. Okay, prospecting is genius, because if you find the most likely buyer in the moment, they're buying. Okay, it just is what it is. If you found in pest control some just crazy hornets just killing it, I don't know pest, I'm sorry, I'm trying. Thank you. So they're just killing it, okay, you're selling them. You know, someone's window got broken into, you might sell them. I don't know. Almost never. You're probably not going to sell them. They're probably not going to answer the door for you. So let's talk about prospecting as it applies to TV. Okay, and I'll still use the dating analogy as well. But so as it applies to TV, these are what I like to look for. So with satellite, I like to look for dishes because those are the easiest switches. And when you guys are out there this summer, that's what you're gonna love. I'm telling you, that's bread and butter. A dish account that's been out of contract, the guy is paying an insane amount of money. Okay, and here's the craziest thing about it. Let me bust out the old whiteboard, because like I said, I want to get a different angle than what I took on the website, because you guys can review the website anytime, but this is live and this is good. So there's objections. Let's talk about objections really quick. Major objections that you run into, and these are universal. Everything I go over, I want to make super universal, because if I teach you principles, those are timeless. Those are going to last wherever you go. And so you're not going to be like, oh, I only know how to sell TV. You're going to know principles, so you'll be able to do whatever you want in life. So let's talk about principles. What universal objections do you hear? So what objections did you get in pest control, alarms? Just start throwing some objections at me. Yep, spouse is a great one. Not interested. That's a good one. Want to think about it is in there too. Don't need. Okay. I'm going to write out some of these. We got spouse. We've got, and I put them in a certain order in my mind. I like to categorize and kind of systemize. And so there was, money was one of them, right? Can't afford. Is that what I heard? Okay, can't afford. What else was there? Contract is, that one maybe falls under no need. You know, maybe a no need. Yep, I don't know you. Let's talk about that one. So I don't know you is legitimacy. I don't know how to spell that word now. Riley, you've ruined me. How do you spell that word? Oh well, don't make fun of my spelling. It's all good. So don't need was in there, and you know I'll give you the other one. It's already have it. So okay, don't need. Already have.
It works just fine.
Yep, that's the already have. Or the no need, I guess. Don't need, already have. Okay, these are, according to Brian Tracy, these are your 6 main objections that you run into, okay? And I'll just kind of hold this board up. You guys can write these down, but this is it, boom. Okay, this is what you're gonna run into. No matter what you're selling, no matter what. Think about dating as well. Objections, is this dude legit? Yep, I'm gonna go through it, you got it. So, is this dude legit? Nah, I don't need that guy. Okay. I already have a boyfriend. Spouse objection. Okay. I already have a boyfriend. That's not really an objection, right? I guess already have's right there too. So we'll just clump those together. Can't afford. Now that's a true one, huh? High maintenance. That girl's high maintenance. No, I'm kidding. They say that about the boy. Oh, he can't afford. I'm just joking. They're jokes, right, honey? Maybe you ought to go downstairs. And not interested. Not interested. Okay. So let's talk about this as it applies to TV. And why I'm going to write prospecting over here, and I'm going to show you guys why I prospect well. I love math. I love numbers. I know some of you don't, but to me, numbers, they never lie. Finance is just where it's at, dude. Numbers never lie. They tell the story. They're absolute, unless you're doing abstract math, which is, I don't know why anyone would do that anyway. That's a super waste of time. Just kidding. All right, let's go over prospecting. Yeah, abstract math. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Actuarials.
You what?
Actuarials.
Yeah, exactly. Things like that. Okay, so when I prospect for a dish, okay, let's talk about your dish customer. Okay, is legitimacy, so I'm just going to put a 1 and then a check mark if it is and an X if it's not. So is legitimacy a concern when you're talking to a dish customer? I'll give you that one. Yes, legitimacy is always going to be a concern, okay? That's one thing you are always going to have to overcome. So we'll talk about how to overcome that. Don't need, okay? If he has dish, is that a concern? It's not. It's not a concern, dude. Because clearly he needs TV, right? He needs TV. He has it already, which we'll get to that. So spouse, if you're prospecting correctly, spouse objection should not come up. And here's why. I mean, we need to be a step above, okay? If there's an oil spot where a car should be closest to the door, they're probably not home, okay? If their mailbox, if you notice their mailbox is open and then later it's closed and the flag's down, they're still not home, okay? They're not home. Like the mailman came, they haven't gotten their mail yet. If you notice it's trash day and there's certain trash cans in and there's trash cans out, the trash cans that are in, they're home, okay? It's little things like that we've got to be better at, okay? And that's things you need to teach your guys that they don't think about. But anyway, I'll get to that. So spouse should not be an objection. If you're seeing 2 cars home, boom. If there's garden gnomes outside and it's a really well-maintained yard, maybe a flamingo in there, okay? Yep, I threw that one in for Louise. And then you go up to the door. I mean, they're most likely, how old are they? Most likely, you know?
Retired.
They're retired. They're most likely retired age, okay? Anywhere from 45 to 95, okay? They're home. They're probably home. If you look through the window and there's the TV's on, you can tell the TV's on, they're probably home. I mean, it's just little things like that. We shouldn't be running into spouse objections, and you can kind of, in qualifying, I'll get to that, okay? Already have. Is that an objection? If they have dish? Yeah, it is. I'll give that one to you. Already have is. Hey, I already have TV. Can't afford. If they're paying $150, maybe it's not that bad. On average, I'd say I run at about $100 to $110 a month for the same package that DirecTV's is $60. So is can't afford an objection? Okay, no, it's not. And that's what I love about TV right there. I hated the can't afford objection, and I don't get it anymore, so it's fantastic. I love TV for that. Not interested, let me just tell you about that really quickly. Not interested is a knee-jerk response. Okay, you're gonna get that. That is just it's a smoke screen. There's no such thing as not interested. That's not even a real thing. You know what I mean? It's not. Think about it. That's why it's bought it. Like, I'm not interested. Not interested in what? Like, they have no idea what they're not interested in. I'm not interested. You don't even know me. In the dating game, like, oh, I'm not interested. You don't know who I am. You know what I mean? How are you not interested in me? You don't know me yet. You got to get to know me first, okay? And so then it's just fighting through that. You don't even know what I'm doing yet, okay? So let's look at the numbers here. Of the 6, there are 2. If you're knocking a dish, there are 2 of the main 6 objections that keep people from buying. That's it. So let's talk about building it like a puzzle set. How do you guys, does anyone do puzzles in here, like 1,000-piece puzzles? Anyone? Okay, do you hear that? How he starts is with the corners. Think about a corner piece, okay? Your corner piece is like this. You have this side that's straight and this side that's straight, okay? So you know where it goes. And then it's jagged here and it's jagged here. And I know my art is just incredible. So there it is, just killing it with art. So there's legit only 2 sides that you have to worry about. These are already solved, man. So when you're talking about hitting a dish account, 2 of 6 is all that you're dealing with. That's 33%. So here's the cool thing. If you get through your presentation, you have a 66.67% chance of closing that deal based on statistics alone. So when I knock a dish and I get in and I go through my process, if I do a terrible job, I have a 66.67 repeating chance of closing that deal. The odds are in my favor every dish I knock. Okay, so if we go out and we get new recruits on and they can go get a couple of these easy dishes, confidence is high, money's in the pocket. Like, it's not rocket science. It's really not. So I just knock doors that I know I'm going to sell, and my ratios on a dish is insane. So I sell these every time, and that's why. Okay, cable, you can kind of do the same thing, but there's a couple of other things that'll come up. But that's why I train on prospecting. So finding a dish and how to find your dishes, that's online as well. But I look for the best looks first. Man, this little eraser is pretty terrible. I feel, that's all right, thank you. So if I am a new rep, or I'm training a new rep on prospecting, I'm gonna teach him how to work an area the right way, okay? Area management's super, super critical to our success in this industry. I mean, I know that you guys, especially you've managed a team, and how often do you have it where your new reps go to the area and they knock it one day and then you get a text message that night, Caden, bro, I'm out of area. I've knocked the whole thing. So we have to teach reps how to manage area. So one thing that I don't know if you guys do really well that I want to kind of touch on, one of my best practices is re-knocking areas as well while we're still on prospecting. Okay, re-knocking an area is the most genius thing. It's the one, I mean, because you have to forgive me, my background is Vivint, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I came from the most, and I was really drinking the Kool-Aid strong. So I was all, I was all in. I was just freaking, I was a poster boy for sure. And I love them, but I'm so glad I'm not there anymore. I can put that on a recording. I'm just glad I'm not there. But anyway, there was some good things I learned. So re-knocking, I had my best month in Abilene, Texas. I was in one neighborhood, okay? It had probably about 200. That's coming off the roof. That's insane. Yeah, that's like 10 feet out there now. That's sweet. Anyway, housekeeping item as well. Try to not stay under those so that you don't get impaled. Like, do you see that giant icicle out there? Yeah. It's like a giant icicle just stuck in the ground. So be careful. Anyway, so I had my best month in Abilene, Texas. It was about 200 homes there, and there had been 3 Vivint reps in that area that summer alone. And there was Vivint everywhere. But I adapted my pitch, and my pitch became like, hey, I'm the best. I'm the one that they send it, and I'm not kidding, this is my pitch. I said, I'm the best. I'm the one they send in to make sure our market saturation is where it needs to be. We're close to 40%, but we need a few more customers. And so that's why I'm here. I'm gonna earn your business, I just need to sit down. And I'd walk in, and that was my pitch. I just got in all the time, boom, 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 and I was just closing people up like, you know who we are? Here I am. Because my first couple doors, people are like, you're the 4th person by. What are you doing? And I was so sick of hearing that, so I learned and adapt. We learn and adapt. And so before they could say anything, I said, hey, I know you know who I am. I know you know Vivint. I'm the best. And the reason they send me is because we need this market saturation. Like, we need it. We need it at 40%. And so I'm going to get in and I'm and we're just going to talk business real quick. And I'd sit down with them and write it up, and they're like, oh, that makes sense. Let's do this. Boom. And there was guys, so I went back to houses 2 times, and I went back to a couple of them 3 times. Like the same house. You know what I mean? And I sold them. So we don't really utilize that in the door-to-door world like we should. The crazy thing is people think like you're going to bother somebody or be a burden. Here's the truth. 2 truths. 1, if you don't get them, someone's going to get them. And think about this. If you've teed them up and now they're thinking about DirecTV and they're thinking about saving $50 a month, the next DirecTV rep who knocks that, it's a laydown. And it was the same thing with Vivint. I was just closing all these laydowns. I was like the 4th, 5th guy by. But so many people hear, oh, you're the 5th person by. And they're like, I guess I'm never going to sell this house. And so you need to address that up front. Okay? But you need to realize that. So you're teeing them up for somebody, and it may as well be you. You may as well tee them up for yourself. 2, you are now legit. And legitimacy is the number 1 reason people aren't closing, right? So if you go back to a house, they know your name, they know your face, they know your company, they know you're legit. Like they know who you are. So by the 3rd time I'd go back to these houses, I'd say, look, I know you didn't get it last time. But since then, John, Dave, boom, boom, like they have jumped on board. I think I just didn't explain it well enough, and that's my fault. I'm sorry for that. Let me just try one more time. And I'd walk in. Let me just try one more time. In I go. And the 3rd time, dude, I'd get them, and it's crazy to me. So, and that became a practice that I used all the time. So I would stay in areas, and my best, it would be like maybe 1 sale, and then another 1 day, but then I'd have 2 the next day, and then 2, and then I'd like throw a big 3 spot down. And so, and it was just because I was in the same area. I had confidence in that area, like it was mine, you know, it's my hood. So when you get in an area, you need to teach guys like stay in that area, and you need to stay in that area too. Like if you put in 1 or 2 deals, there's no reason why you can't sell them all. And you know who does a really good job at that in our company? His name's Eddie Adams. He's the same dude he's number 1 right now in the company, and I've seen the way that he canvasses, and it's amazing. So he keeps notes really good. So he's fantastic with it. But that's it. The other note I'd have on prospecting for you guys is there's actually a step maybe I'd add right here, and it's preparation. So preparing before each day is critical, and I'm going to hit this a lot more in detail with the self-development and recruiting stuff that we're going to do. But before you go out, prepare for the day. So prepare for the weather, prepare for the food. I mean, you're going to be hungry, like pack stuff. Understand that, I mean, you have 108 days in the summer. That's it. Like, you don't have that long. You can do anything for 108 days. You know, I think kind of like the Count of Monte Cristo. That guy didn't give up. You know, just never gave up. And then his life turned around. So prepare. I think that goes into your prospecting as well. As far as cable switchovers, you can typically see the cable boxes on the side of the home if it's a more industrialized place. But for this particular group, I don't think that applies, and I already went over that in my last boot camp. So cable, you're fine. But I would just, I would be sure on prospecting you don't leave any stone unturned. Last principle on that is, I mean, if you're in a neighborhood and there's a guy who's like never home, but you're hitting all these other people who have been talked to 3-4 times, well, odds are they didn't get that guy either. You know what I mean? Odds are they haven't talked to him. So if you can work 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, you're going to get that guy that no one else gets. Or if you work a little earlier, you'll get him before maybe he has a shift. Maybe he just has a weird shift. And so you need to understand, those are your laydowns as well. And it's just being a better prospector. Just prospect better. You know, when you get to an area and you say, that house looks good to me, guess what? The last sales guy said that. And the sales guy before that. But when you see like the no trespassing, nasty, like, oh my gosh, no one has talked to that. If I see a no trespassing, there's a dish, oh man, I know, that's my deal. I'm like, I park my car in their driveway every time, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but like I park my car in their driveway, and I love it when it's a long dirt road. I want them to like come out. I want them to like come out of their house. Those are my favorite, like awkwardly. What are you doing? Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. If they have a no trespassing, I'm driving in their driveway and I'm pissing off their dogs and I'm getting some commotion because no one else does it, because everyone else gets scared and they get this pit in their stomach. So that guy, he's never been talked to before. And I knocked, and he's like the nicest dudes. They really are. It's never like, I give them the pitch that we're going to go over pretty soon and practice. And dude, they love me. They're just like, come on in, man. Glad you're not a Kirby vacuum guy. I know, man. Those Kirby vacuum guys. So yeah, I think that's it. On the web page, it has videos on this stuff, so I know I'm not missing anything, but that's prospecting in a nutshell. Okay, we need to make sure that we're doing that better. We need to be better. Keep detailed notes, keep street sheets, you gotta, okay? If you have questions on that, some of those principles, take a good takeaway as well. I would really encourage you guys, if there's one thing that you're not doing that I talk about, just adapt and try it. Like, try knocking the scary door. Like, it's fine. And if you get your teeth kicked in, they're already at no. You know what I mean? They're already at no. You're already at $0 for that day. Like, you know what I mean? You got to think of it that way. You're at nothing. They're at nothing. If you don't knock their door, guess what? They're never going to buy from you. So that always gives me courage. I at least try. If I don't get out and knock, I'm not going to sell. If I'm not working, I'm not making money. Like, that's duh. But somehow people don't realize that. Okay. Anyway, I do understand competence creates confidence, and people don't get out of their car because they don't know how to prospect. So if you guys can help them to prospect, when you drop them off, they're not going to be like, oh, looking at their phone, Facebook. Oh, I don't know what to do. Like, teach them how. These cars are home. You know what I mean? Show them that in your summer offices, and you'll kill it. All right, qualify time. So qualify, and this, I have a slideshow and stuff, but I don't think it covers much more than what I'm covering. What to look for. Go door to door. Yeah. All right. We'll just do it. We'll go over our stuff. I'm gonna go back to the cycle because, like I said, I cover all that in the videos. All right. So qualifying. This is the art of finding the most qualified buyer, right? In the moment. This is the art of knowing if you're wasting time or not. Biggest mistake that first years make, and third years and fifth years, and people who have done it 10 years, and they're like, oh, I already know how to do this job. I'm amazed when I shadow people that tell me that. They'll knock a door, someone will come out, they'll have dish for 5 months, and this dude strikes up a conversation with them for like 5 minutes. And I'm thinking, man. And meanwhile, there's a car that backs out of the driveway and they drive off, and that could have been your sale. Like, and you're wasting your time with this guy who's in contract. He's in contract. If I knock a door and I talk to him a little bit and they go, whoa, I don't do anything with this. My wife, she handles this all. I don't know what we're paying. I don't know anything like that. I go, dude, perfect. I'm super busy. I'll see you at 9 tonight. Is that too late, or would that be okay? That'll be fine. And then I just set my appointments backwards from that. So I have an appointment at 9, 8:30, 8, 7:30, and I just work backwards. Because I don't want to give up prime time to go back to this family. But then if I hit it at 9, they know I'm coming, you know, and I can just walk in their home. More on that to come. But let's see. So qualifying, this is your door pitch. Okay, the door pitch, this is the biggest mistake that companies make as well. So they train on the pitch, only the pitch, that's it. Okay, you got to think about this. The pitch, there's an objective to why you do any of these steps. Okay, prospecting, your objective is to find the most qualified buyer in the moment. Qualify is to make sure you're with somebody that's worth your time. So in dating world, qualifying, essentially you go up, this is kind of your initial approach. Hey, how you doing? Cheesy pickup line, whatever. Okay, you drop your pickup line on them, and you kind of see if they share similar morals, similar standards, if they, you know, if they're what you're looking for, if they like the same music you like, whatever. Okay, this is kind of it. That's your qualify. If you're not vibing, you're not going to like spend more time with them. That doesn't happen. Okay, and it needs to be that way in sales. For some reason, that's natural in dating. It's not natural in sales, and it should be. Okay, don't waste your time. So the door pitch, there's 2 objections, okay, or objectives. Write this down. Your 2 objectives to the door. Objective 1 is to see if you're with a qualified buyer. Okay, that's your objective of your door pitch. Number 1, see if you're with a qualified buyer. That's it. That's number 1. Objective 2 is to get in the home. Okay, those are your 2 objectives on the doorstep. So if I knock a door and someone opens the door and they like kind of open up to me and, hey, come on in, kind of a deal, I just walk in their home. If I knock a door and I hear, come in, from inside, and they thought their buddy was coming, bump, bum, and then I'm in. Okay, I'm like opening their door and I step in and I do that little swaggy step. Hey, I know. I sit down as fast as I can. Look kind of lost. Oh. And I'm like, I know I'm not who you expected. And I just smile, and they're like, what are you doing at my house? And they're like kind of pissed off, you know? And I'm like, I get it. Are you guys having like a party soon? Or, you know, am I late for something? And they love it. They do, they really love it. But if I can get in the home, I'm in the home. And that's it. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's talk about the pitch, and then we're gonna do some pitch practice, okay? So for instance, I don't know, what were some of the ones you used in Pest? Just so I have a better understanding.
Are you guys getting the ants on the outside like the neighbors, or are they inside already to you?
Sweet, so that's perfect. So that gives you cell direction. I love that. So he said, just because I know I've got the mic, are the ants on the outside of the home or are they inside the home? So that gives the pest control cell direction. So same thing with TV. A good qualifying question on the doorstep is just, hey, are you still using the satellite? Are you still using the service? Okay, that's really a very easy question, yes or no. Okay, if they say yes, you know that they have TV. You know that you're eliminating a ton of objections right off the bat. Okay, if they say no to that question, you know you kind of have to alter your pitch. So if the guy with the ants is like, no, dude, I don't have ants, and it's like, okay, now you gotta. Perfect. Yep, exactly. Perfect. Yeah, that's the best response. That's why I'm here, man. That's why I use in alarms all the time. Anything they said, well, we don't really need alarms. Dude, that's why I'm here. You know, I just use that all the time. That's why I'm here. Okay. Other qualifying question that's really good is just, how long have you been with us? If they've got a satellite, how long have you been with us? It's super simple. It gives your cell direction. If they've been with it less than 2 years, they're in contract. Okay, you might not want to mess with it unless it's like 18 months and you want to buy them out, then you can. If not, I'm not messing with it. Okay, so that's a qualifying question. And so with that being said, let's go over the pitch of destiny here. So I'm going to give you my skeleton pitch. I do embellish at times, but not much more than what I'm going to give you. This is the best thing to teach new reps because new reps have a tendency to overtalk. And each sentence doesn't necessarily have any meaning. It just starts to lose meaning. Oh, hey, I'm Robert. It's really good to meet you. Shake their hand, you know. Man, how have you been today? Like, I'm not interested in what you're selling. You know, it doesn't work. So this is the skin and bones what I teach people. And then you can embellish a little bit from this. So who I am, hey, I'll just say, how's it going? And I like to, when I stand on the doorstep, I'll move this chair. I like to be kind of just a little bit more meek, a little more like non-threatening. Some people, it helps, I guess, to be bigger, but for me, so if I'm the homeowner, maybe you can camera it over here. If I'm the homeowner and I walk up to my home, open the door and someone's standing outside and they're like this mountain of snow, just freak. It's intimidating to me, you know what I mean? If they're square up, if you're like square up with someone, it's kind of like that I'm gonna challenge you to a duel right now. I'm coming in your home and they're like, you are not coming in my home. And so it gives them that, I don't know, there's like this threatening. So I stand sideways like this and I kind of slump a little and I act super dumb and I love it. So I'm like, they open the door and I just kind of like look up, almost surprised, like, hey man, hey, I love that. That's my wave, just like this. And if I love it too in the country, like if I drive up on a house and they come out, and I've had guys come out with a gun in their belt, and they're like, what do you want? And I'm like, oh, hey man. And they just do instant disarm. Hey, how you doing? Now here's what I say. So I don't even say, hey, I'm Robert, here's my hand. Like I don't do any of that. I just, hey, if it's a dish, so we're doing a dish takeover here and I've seen the dish, I know they have dish. Hey, just do customer service with dish and direct. So I've pointed. You still using our satellite on the home? So that's my opening line. Customer service with dish and direct. That's my opening line every time. Because for a while there actually, so dish, we sold both. And our volume is high enough now though that I think we're gonna have to pick pretty soon. So we're not gonna be able to sell dish as much, I don't think. I'm sorry, surprise. So we'll talk about that a little more. But we sell both currently. I just don't know how much longer. So anyway, but I just use customer service with dish and direct. And I'll just ask like, are you still using our satellite? So that's point 2. Are you still using our satellite? They tell me, yes. I go, cool. How long have you been with us? So that's question 3. They say anything over 2 years. I say, perfect. So do the pest thing. Perfect. That's long enough. You probably qualify for a bill reduction or an equipment upgrade. I just need to look at your box and I walk in their home. So bill reduction, equipment upgrade. And I walk in. That's the difference between me and a lot of people, and that's the difference between slayers and non-slayers. And with the pest control cell, while you slayed, you just assumed it and you just wrote them up on the spot and they're like, I guess we're doing this. It's the same thing getting in the home. You just have to have a leap of faith. And I know it might be hard for you, but you just be confident. Be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid.
I feel like it's just kind of scary just walking into people's house.
It kind of is. Do it anyway. You know what I mean? That's what's crazy about it. It's so crazy to me. Think about fears, though. The word fear, false events appearing real, right? The acronym. It's what's going to happen. You're not going to walk in their home and have them like grab you by your hair and boom. Like, what's the worst that could happen? You walk in and they go, I don't feel comfortable with you being in my house. And I go, I'm sorry. Let me re-explain. This is what I'm doing. And I go over it again. And I'm in their house. And very rarely, I have people that block me too, but once again, let's look at this from logic standpoint. They're already at no. So if you don't get in their house, they're already at no. And here's what happens when you're too afraid to get in the home. You start thinking, and what you're focusing on starts happening. So you start thinking, they're going to tell me no. And that's what you're thinking of. So you're not thinking of them telling you yes. You're not thinking of success. You're literally, what's on your mind is them telling you no. And then the way you start talking is like, maybe, if I said, maybe I'll give a mediocre boot camp, it would be mediocre. Or if I said, I'm a decent sales trainer, it'd be decent. But like in my heart of hearts, I've seen this work so many times that I'm like, do it, trust me, please try. And if you were on my hip, we'd do it. And I wish Alex Strout was here, because when his first deal, I had 2 guys on my back and we were in the country and they were like, there is no way you're coming in our home. Like, we were outside their locked gate. And I just said, we gotta look at your equipment. These guys are training, like it's gotta happen. And I just reached up and just took off the little thing, clip. And I said, we're coming in. And I walked in and they followed and they were tripping. They had their hoods up and they were like hands in their hoods and they were tripping. Walked into the home, they stand in the home. I'm sitting down, there's like 2 dudes standing there. I'm sitting down with the family. I'm like, hey guys, why don't you sit down? I like invited them to sit down. We sold it.
Like it's your house.
Oh, for sure, dude. It's like at the front door, come in guys. And they come in, I like close the door behind them, lock the door. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about that. I just thought I'd get a laugh. And then I'm serious. I'm not even making this up. Oh, I know, but that's what people do when they follow me. They're like, and they give me that look like, what are you doing? Come on in, man. It's way better inside. So we go in. I come on in. It's way better in here. So we get in the home, sit down, I invite them down, and it works. But yeah, it's scary. I'm not going to lie to you at all. It was the scariest thing, especially I wasn't always this way. Like, this is not how I am, or what was. It is how I am now. And it scared me so bad. But alarms, like, you got to just do it. You know what I mean? You're not going to sell them a 5-year contract on their doorstep. So I had to just get comfortable walking in. And when you're in the home, it's pretty cool. When you get in the home, you're a friend. On the doorstep, they're lying to you too. So people lie all the time on the doorstep. The most honest, genuine, good people are going to sit there and lie to you and lie to you and lie to you because they think you're there to sell them a water cooler or whatever. They think you're there to sell them something. And so they're like, I'm so busy. I've had so many deals that have been so busy, and I walk in and they're watching Oprah Winfrey like so many times. It's crazy. I'm so busy. I got to go in 5 minutes. I walk in, they've got their knitting stuff. Like, it's crazy. And I sit down and they plop back down and out with the knitting. And I'm like, I thought you had to leave in 5 minutes. And they're like, oh, I thought you were here to sell me something. You know what I mean? Like, they just get to work. I'm like, I'll just get to work too. I'm a professional, So just realize that, be bold. You are a professional. And I think as well, just a quick note on that. If you're living a life that's clean, you'll have nothing to worry about. And what I mean by that is, like, I know in my heart of hearts, I'm not going to take advantage of anybody. If I get inside and they're paying $30 to dish somehow, I'm not selling it. Like, I'm not going to do something that's not going to benefit the customer. Like, I don't do that. I know you guys might, but I don't. I heard about that. And it was like a $30 dish, wasn't it? Yeah, see, that's crazy to me. But hey, if they like it, they like it. I'll offer the upgrade, but I'm just like, if they're all about saving money, I don't. But these guys are pros. I'm not. I'm an average now. Anyway, long story short though, you won't have a problem walking in if that's the case, okay? And you need to realize that, I mean, that is part of this sell. And the more that you do that, the better off you'll be. And that's how I sell what I sell. So, and I was dialed in at the beginning of this game where I would be getting in 90% of houses. Taylor, like, he sells within the first hour, like every time you go out and knock. He just does it, you know what I mean? In the house he goes, and these guys have seen it. Everyone's seen it, I think. And he just in, and boom, it's a sell, you know? So that's the same with me. If I'm going out to knock, I'm making money, and that's how, you know, because I'm adding value to people's lives. But anyway, that's just a little tangent, so thanks for bringing that up. So that's my pitch. Let's go over it one more time, okay? Those are the big four. So customer service with Dish and Direct. Are you still using our satellite? How long have you been with us? That's long enough. You probably qualify. Okay, and I have dialed this into a perfect science, and I teach you this because this is the skeleton that works. Like, everybody talks themselves out of a sell. It blows my mind. I used to do it all the time, and I wish I had realized earlier. You still do, yeah. And not now though, when I'm this concise with people, I get in all the time. Let's talk about cable for a second. So let's say they have cable. Typically with cable, there's only 2 major providers in any town. Very rarely do you have more than that. So like Xfinity and AT&T are in Houston. AT&T, it's nice because we are AT&T, so that was really special. But let's say you have CenturyLink and TDS. Yeah, let's say CenturyLink and TDS. So I would knock that door and I would do a very similar thing. I would say I do the TV and internet upgrades in the area. Okay, that's how I start. TV, internet upgrades in the area. I say, are you still using so not us, but I say, are you still using the TDS or CenturyLink? And I say it like this. Are you still using the CenturyLink or TDS? And they'll be like, yeah, and they tell me it's the best. They tell me every time, just because of how I've worded it. So they say, yeah, we use the TDS. And I go, perfect, how long have you been with it? So I roll it almost like I'm TDS, but I'm not. How long have you been with it? We've been with it now 3 years. That's long enough. You probably qualify for a bill reduction or equipment upgrade. I'm just gonna look at your box real quick. I just walk in, okay? So never once do I say, and I'll get to the presentation, but this is just the pitch part, okay? Never once do I say I am with them or anything like that. I just wanna get in the home as quickly as possible. Faster you're in the home, the better. The more you talk on the door, the more momentum you're gonna lose. So you lose momentum very quickly. So you just wanna get in. Make sense? Kind of crazy? Yeah.
One question. Did you say, after you started still using the CenturyLink for the TDS, did you say how long you've been with them or what box you're using?
I say, how long have you been with it? I always go exactly the same. And I use those questions because that is, like I said, that is a sell science. Those questions are money because you are getting the most direction to your sell. Because if he tells me at that point, oh, I've been with it now 2 months, awesome, man. Has it been going pretty good? Yeah. Well, great. Good to meet you. I'm Robert. Thanks for your time. I'll probably see you in 22 months. You know? I'll see you in 22 months. Plan on me. I'll be back. And that way you've kind of teed it up for yourself. And you want to make a note if it's in your hometown, and then you're on to the next. And that literally has wasted 0 time. It's wasted 0 mental stress. Instead of like, oh, people get so stressed out. Oh, I've knocked so many doors and I'm just not selling. I'm not selling. Why am I not selling? Oh my gosh. I got in that house for like 30 minutes and they didn't buy from me because they were in a contract. You know what I mean? People freak out. You've all had that, you know, that have been in sales. Some of you just wait, it's coming. But it's coming, it's gonna come. I promise. But you need to realize like your mental energy is very precious. So there's nothing better than recording first pitches. But when we do it like this, there's just something about it. Like, I don't know, you won't have that happen. You guys will be much better trained, I promise. But when I don't do this, because I'm like, it's kind of a dumb activity, so maybe we won't do it with this training group. We don't do it, and then inevitably I get a call. I'm not doing it right. Like, I'm saying everything you're saying. I'm like, how's your pitch go? Let's go knock. And they knock the door, and it's seriously like, oh my gosh, it's just the biggest train wreck. Hey, how you doing? So I'm here to help save people money. I mean, how much are you guys paying right now with your dish? Like, that's the pitch. And I'm like, well, who taught you that? I didn't. You didn't get that from me. Oh, how much are you saving? I'm just here to save money. I'm here to help. These are like red flag words for everybody. Because every salesman there's to help them save money. And I've just been helping all your neighbors. The worst opener. Hey.
Trucks are in the area.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Oh yeah, I'm sure you've seen our truck out here. We just barely sprayed here. We're just gonna do you next. Like, it's the worst. Like the biggest gimmick. So, it's the worst, and everyone does it, and I am guilty. And that's why I used to knock 80 to 100 doors like before I would sell one. Crazy. And now it's like, if I don't sell 1 in 5, I'm like stressing. I start sweating. What am I doing wrong? 1 in 5, that's me. Like if I don't sell 1 in 5, dude, it's crazy. 3 or 4 in a day, boom, 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 and then I'm home. Cool, see you later. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. When I was selling really hardcore, actually, it was no time for dinner. But another story, I'll tell you guys that maybe at dinner. But yeah, so here's the next activity we're gonna do. We're gonna split up into just little groups of maybe 2, or heck, maybe we might just do 4. We can just do 2. Let's do groups of 2. And it'll be uncomfortable, and that's good. I want you to be uncomfortable, and I want you to just pitch each other back and forth for a while. Okay, I think it's smart. This is a skeleton. You guys on your own, you will develop a couple of things that work for you. So something that works for me as part of it. So if I see that I'm not winning any traction, then a line that I'll go to is kind of, so if it's a cable switch and I don't feel like they're ready, which you can tell, side note here, you can tell by the way that they are at the doorstep if they're ready or not. So if your homeowner is at the door and they've opened it like this, they're not ready. They're not, hey, I'm gonna look at your box. You know what I mean? Like, just think of it, I don't know, think of it almost like defense in basketball. You know, if you wanna push somebody left, you get on the right side, and it shows them like, here's your lane, buddy. Try to go left. And then they go left and they fumble the ball and they D-Rose it up. Just kidding, he's pretty good, but anyway. So it's the same thing, okay? They open the door like this. That's like the worst thing. So you just, hey man.
Like a teenager.
Yeah, and if it's exactly, if it's a teenager, don't pitch him.
He's always like, hey,
I know.
I'm with customer service for dishing.
I know, yeah, they just start pitching this teenager. Thank you for bringing that up. Don't pitch a teenager.
Is your mom or dad here?
Yeah, hey, are you the boss of the place? That's what I'll ask every time. And if it's like a 6-year-old kid, you the boss of the place? Ha! You know, he laughs. No, I'll get my mom. In he goes.
Actually had that happen
And I love it.
what is that? I told the guy who did say he was the boss of the house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Then
just
that,
tell him that the bill is due or something, and he's like, "Oh, never mind. I'll go get my dad."
that's funny. Yeah, usually I just like look at him. Really, dude? I know you're not. Like, okay, I'll drop the act. Go get your parents. You know. Anyway, so they open the door like that. That's not a good sign. If they open the door and you're like, hey, customer service, still use our dish, they open up, they're like this, I'll just look at your box. Like the minute that door's open and they're sideways, I'm like, I'll just drop what I'm doing. Coming in, I'll see you, you know, but I still have them, so let's say they're like this the whole time, and I get to kind of where I would transition in, I just say, so it'll be like customer service, boom, boom. Oh, you probably qualify for bill reduction or equipment upgrade. I'm just gonna take a look at your box, and I go in and they're kind of like, you know, they kind of give me that, and I go, I understand. I just say, people have been calling in and complaining and canceling because their bill is increasing. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll just look at your box. So that's my one-liner. That's my one-liner. People are calling in, complaining, and canceling. It's the 3 C's. Calling, complaining, canceling because their bill is increasing. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And they go, yep. And I go, perfect. I'm just going to look at your box. So that's my one-liner. But I don't teach that. Because then guess what the pitch turns into? Hey, people have been calling, complaining, canceling because their bill's increasing. I'm here to save you money, man. Boom. It's so dumb. Like the minute you teach like that, it's so dumb. Anyway, so that is, and I know that you guys will develop things that work for you. Richard's process is completely different than mine. And Eddie's is completely different too, but it has the same skeletal structure. It still has to have that structure, you know, who you are, what you're doing, what's in it for them, and what's in it for you. Like it has to have that structure, okay? All right, let's do this. There's this great misconception out there that you have to bundle your services. You don't. It's a marketing pitch by companies. I mean, obviously, Xfinity wants $180 a month versus $70 a month. DirecTV and AT&T want $500 a month. I've seen $500 bills because they have Well, they have their cell phone, their TV, their internet. Like it's a 5 bundle. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. That's the great misconception of all time. So think about it from a business standpoint. If you're CenturyLink and someone's bundled up for $180, but you can still keep them a customer at $50 if they just have your internet, or you can lose them altogether, what would you take? Okay? If I can guarantee $50 a month for another 24-month contract, that's what I'm going to take. I just sold a TV in Cedar City. They had a CenturyLink bundle. We broke the bundle, gave them internet. They gave them the new promotional internet speed, and with like the new, dude, it's great. They upped their speed and everything.
Wait, so
They're-
they got your deal plus they got a deal from their company?
Yeah, so they're with CenturyLink. So I just said, boom, yeah, let's do this. So yeah, they got the TV for me, and then we had to call up CenturyLink, but yeah, we dropped the bundle of $180, and their new bill moving forward was $40. So they were paying $180, but with $40 and $60, now they're at $100. So saving them $80 a month. Yeah, and that you guys can sell that all day. I mean, that's the thing. It's just the misconception with cable is that they can't break their bundle. That's a lie. They can break their bundle. Yeah, I mean, they can break their bundle, and new customers get promotions. So realize what you're doing. It's like, dude, it's the greatest thing in the world. It's crazy. All you're doing is you're just saving people money, and we'll get into that on my presentation. I just had a couple more principles I wanted to cover with you, and then as far as the cable switch, we won't do that practice, but I encourage everybody to do the cable practice. The same thing that we just did with satellite. Like, think about it. If you practice that 5 minutes a day, that's not a long time. Where would you be? You know what I mean? The book of the month this month was A Compound Effect, because that book changed my life more than anything else. It's amazing, dude. And honestly, yeah, it's Darren Hardy. The guy's amazing too. He was a millionaire at 24. So his first 6-figure year was 18, millionaire by 24, and now he's killing it. So full blown, he's good. The book's good, huh? So, but with that, what I'm getting at, so he kind of talks about, he uses an example in there is if you ate, and it was pretty low, like 500 extra calories a day. So like,
It's like 175.
yeah, it was something crazy.
If you eat 200 extra calories a day over the course of a year, it's like...
Yeah, it's crazy. Like even, I'll use an extreme example and say it was 500 calories, which it was very low. It was very, very low. It's like 125 is what it was. It was 125 calories, and over the course of a year,
I think it was 11 pounds a year, but 500 calories would be way more.
yeah, it'd be way more. That's what I'm saying, because 3,500 calories is a pound, right? So we could do our own little thing though and say 250. If you had 250 calories, obviously that's
For a week, that's 1,500.
1,500. So you're pretty much,
1,000 a month.
so you're pretty much sitting at, about 3 pounds ish.
20-ish pounds a year.
Okay, so let's say that. Let's just use 250 a day. Let's say you eat one extra Little Debbie snack every day. Okay, one guy stays the same. One guy eats 250 less a day. Okay, same thing, all the same habits. That one, he's going to gain 20-ish pounds in the first year. Over the course of 3 years, he's gained 60 pounds. Whereas the other guy has lost 60 pounds, feels better, like his life is significantly better because of one small insignificant choice done daily over time. And so we'll hit this a lot tomorrow in our self-developments and things, but you need to understand, like if you took time every day to study sales material, I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't. I don't know why you wouldn't. I started doing that. It really did. It changed my life, and I'm grateful for it. And just little things, just little fine tunes along the way. And people will wonder, well, and a lot of people outside of this group, just because we're kind of used to younger people just smashing it in this industry, but outside of this group, when I go fly out to Dallas and I sit down with teams and I'm recruiting teams, they're like, "You're so young." You know what I mean? Why would I ever follow you? And I just tell them it's not age, man. It's time it's diligent time doing the right things. You know what I mean? So the last example I'd use with that's like musicians, if there's some guy who's been playing the drums for 12 years and another who's played 5 years, but that guy's practiced an extra 3,000 hours, he's gonna be better. You know what I mean? He's gonna be better. So anyway, let's get to it. So practice these things, I guess is what I'm trying to harp on. Here's some principles. Boom, some pitch principles that I wanted to cover before we move on. These are things that are like my secret sauce that I use that make me better. Okay, so speak slowly. Everybody thinks that they're talking slower than they are. I would record your pitches because that's something that people don't do. So when I play the drums and I got pretty good, I did competitions in high school and ended up winning some pretty big ones. And how I got better was I was just willing to do the things that other people weren't willing to do. So I recorded myself drumming, and I drummed to metronomes all the time. And the recording myself drumming, I always thought I sounded like way good, and then I'd hear it and my tone was just terrible. Like I was just beating the drums, you know? So then I slowly started to groove a little harder, and I was just able to do a little more, you know, and just fine tune my playing. I do the same with my pitch, and I realize when I get a really weird response on the doorstep and I listen to my pitch, I know exactly why I got it. Like I didn't make sense, and I talked fast, and I asked dumb questions, you know, things like that. Luckily, you guys won't have that same problem, but because you have something that's very pointed, so you're not going to have that same problem that I had. But I had some terrible problems. When you're nervous, you speak quick, and when you speak fast, you lose customers every time. Okay. Act like an hourly employee. Okay, that's my other trick. When I'm on the doorstep, I don't want to be eager beaver out there. And I don't want them to think that my paycheck depends on them. You know, I would rather them think, hey, I'm just here. Hey, I do customer service. You know, okay, cool, see you. You know, I would rather it be that way. Okay, if you do that, you'll be a lot better off because everybody tends to oversell. So if you can kind of get this in your head, you're not gonna undersell. People are always like, well, what if I don't have enough energy? You don't need to like, whoo, yeah. You don't need that. Like, you don't. Okay, you can do that to feel better, but don't do that on the doorstep. You know what I mean? Yo, yeah, woo, I'm coming in. Name dropping. So this Sales Rabbit has it so you can get on and get names. This is another one of those bold, really scary items at first, but if confidence is something that you want, you have to do this. I'm looking at you because you want confidence out of this conference. I'm gonna help you get confidence because you have to do the uncomfortable things. You have to do the things that people aren't willing to do to get the results. There's no traffic jam on the extra mile. We've got to go there. Got to be willing to go there. Okay, this is going there. Hey, this is something I do in my pitch as well, but I don't want to train on it. Okay, hey, is this the Stoltz residence? Perfect, you must be Dane. I do customer service with Dish and Direct. You're there, you're like in the house. I use it every time, I use names every time. And it totally is scary as heck, every time. I don't know why, it's still scary to me, but I use them. And I use them because they work. If you go out to a boonies and someone comes out and it's like, oh, what do you want? Oh, hey man, just do customer service, Dish and Direct. This is the Williams residence, right? Huh?
Are you Brian?
Exactly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You must be Brian. It's perfect. I just do customer service with Dish and Direct. Are you Brian? Yeah, I am Brian. And all of a sudden the door goes, I am Brian. What do you want? You know, it's awesome. It's scary, but it's awesome. Okay, use that tool. I sometimes get nervous sweats when I don't have a name. You know, but if I have a name, I know I'm in.
It's funny too because then when you go to qualify them, you don't have to say, hey, I need your basic info. What's your name? What's your address? What's your number? Hey, I need to pull up your bill. What's your phone number? You already have their name. You can write down the address because you already know what house you're at.
Yep.
And it seems so much more legit, that legitimacy issue.
Cool. So I don't know if you heard it because the mic, but essentially if you have that information already when you go to do paperwork, it makes it seamless. So you don't have to ask for it. All right. And then body language. So reading body language. If you're like, you can't pitch everyone exactly the same. You know what I mean? You can't use quite the same tone. You have to see what they're doing. If somebody opens the door real wide and like shakes your hand and stuff, you can be pretty relaxed with that guy. Awesome. Sweet. If it's a sweet old lady, like, and she's super scared, you just use her name and do all that stuff. And if she's still like really skeptical, sometimes I'll just call it out, you know, hey, I can see you're kind of, you don't seem too comfortable with me. Are you doing okay? You know, I just become a human being. You doing all right? Oh no, like this and that, or my husband's not home, I don't feel comfortable. That's fine. That's fine, actually. I've got a lot of appointments, so I'll come back. When will he be home? Oh, 6. I know, is 8 too late? You know, if it's an older person, I'm not gonna say 9. 8 too late? Oh, we go to bed at 7? All right, 6:30 will have to be, I guess, you know, like things like that. But I still ask her if she's using it. I make sure it's a qualified buyer. But read the body language, you know, don't, I don't know, not every person's the same, okay? But those are some of my principles, timeless, you know, you use those on the doorstep, you'll be fine, and that's universal. I think that's pretty much it on qualifying people. That's a very in-depth training on it. So hopefully that helps. Those are all my secrets that I use. Understand that I have been doing it a long time, and I've been told no thousands and thousands of times, and I've bageled a lot with alarms, and you know what I mean? Like, understand that, I have an edge because I've done it. And same, like, you can't really compare apples to apples. You can't say, oh, well, Taylor's so good at this. He's done it, you know? Caden, he's done it. Like, he'll be a fantastic rep this year because he's done it. So you just have to realize that. I had sold before, so it came naturally to me. But, all right. Is everyone good on qualifying people? Kind of know what the qualifying's all about and the step, okay? Well, let's go to presentation and talk about dating again. So presentation on a date. And this is essentially, maybe this is your first date. Okay, you're finally on a date. Presentation, this is obviously what you have to offer, okay, in the dating realm. And if we're talking about, going towards marriage, this is just making sure that they know all the goods, the bads, the uglies, okay? So the presentation portion of this, obviously, is the sell, quote unquote, the sell. All right, and that's why I like to get in the home too, because in my mind, there's two closes. There's closing to get in the doorstep, and then there's closing to get the paperwork done, and that's it. I break it down into two very simple steps. So when I'm in the home, my presentation is new. So the doorstep, I guess that is a presentation. The pitch is kind of a presentation, in and of itself. But really what you've done is qualified your customer as well. Presentation in the home, this is where all the magic happens. Okay, and I'm going to ask for you guys to stay with me on this because I know this is a lot of content. This is the most content-rich thing I'll go over. Okay, I'll probably take 20 minutes to go over everything I do in the home, and I'm going to talk about some principles and things like that. As it comes up, I'll just keep throwing it down. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's talk about it, and I'll keep it as simple as possible by talking about the main three, the big three. All right, and now to talk about how genius the training program is and why I do this is because I want reps to know I'm teaching them something without them knowing I'm teaching them something. So I taught them ECP day one because ECP is what you're going to go over in the home. So I taught them that, not telling them it was sales or anything. It's just study this, learn this is good, and then they're competent and they're like, oh yeah, and you guys missed ECP, but they have confidence in it. So they're going to go out and hit doors and just be confident. And then when they get in the home, they have direction. And like I said, so many times you get in the home and then it's like, well, now what? And sometimes you get a home run. And sometimes like you strike out, but you don't really know why you did it. And there wasn't a science behind it. So let me tell you the flow. Inside the home, you've got to have a flow. It's got to be a step-by-step. And the flow doesn't have to be exact what I'm doing, but I recommend it big time. In fact, I recommend it so much that these little papers here this is why these are made as well. This is like the spec sheet. So here, can you see that? Spec sheet? It's on the website regardless. So the spec sheet, I give these to new reps because they can go in the home and literally just fill out left to right, top to bottom. That's it. So it's like, what internet do you have? Okay, you're with Dish. How many TVs do you have? Do you want any additional TVs? You know what I mean? Like you could just do it like a robot. Here's how you're currently set up. What channel packet? What's your favorite channel? What's your bill? Ooh, that's high. I recommend we make you a new customer with DirecTV. You'll get the 4 TVs, you'll get the new Genie, it'll do this, that, and that. I recommend this channel package, and your price is gonna be $60. You'll save $50 your first year. What are you gonna do with that money? Cool, let's sign you up. Call, that's it. So it's in its simplest form, here it is. But let me tell you what I'm doing with it, okay? And I'll go over some cool stuff. All right. So, hey, what's up? Come on in, grab a chair. This is, we're currently recording, we're live, so I'm just gonna keep going. You can make noise and stuff. I've got a mic on, so you can make noise. I'm mic'd up, so. Okay. So we're at presentation on the sales cycle. All right, guys. So ECP, I go over equipment, channel, price in the home. All right, so I've got in the home by this time. I check their equipment. So I get in there and I look at the box and I go, okay, this is what they have. Okay, and this is where the equipment training comes into play, so that we've already kind of covered, and that's on the website. So when at the equipment stage, okay, the goal, and this is my piece of paper. I get a piece of paper from them. And at this stage of the game, okay, my ultimate goal here is to peel them away from their current provider in a nice, loving way, okay? If you go into someone's house and you're like, oh, you have this old crappy thing, like that sucks, or oh, your pest control company sucks, or whatever, I don't know, your alarm, this alarm is ghetto. That's like the biggest turnoff. Hey, did you know that you live in a really ghetto area? Like, you know what I mean? Think about it. Awesome, I love this guy. This neighborhood's terrible. What did you just say? Okay, so no one wants to hear that. Oh, your girlfriend's ugly. Like, no one wants to hear that. You know what I mean? So we've got to be respectful. So we're going to be respectful. Okay. So when I go in there and I talk about their equipment, it's pretty simple. These are some things that I touch on. And I'll write this down, and you guys can kind of put this in your notes as well. Okay. For those of you who just walked in, welcome. Thank you for coming. Appreciate your time, and thanks for being here with us. All right. So we're push and play on in the home, all right? A couple of sales principles that I covered before was like being genuine and things like that. You guys missed those, so sorry, but I'll cover that while I do this. Okay, so as I was talking about before, the biggest reason why I go over equipment first is it's a gentle way to peel them from their current provider. So now we should be caught up to speed. These are a couple of things that I do / say. I'll just write them in underneath. Some things I like to talk about. So I like to talk about the HD that they have. Okay, a lot of the time on these older cable boxes and on the old dish boxes like the 722, they're getting 720 HD. That's pretty standard. Okay, so I would word something like that. There's two ways to word it, okay? There's the terrible way and there's like the good way. So terrible way, hey, you have 720 HD and that sucks. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Better way is just something to this effect. I'll just tell them, hey, I noticed, you've got the 720 HD box. There's been a lot of complaints about that just because obviously you have this TV, which is sick, by the way. How much did you spend on this TV? Oh man, I bought this thing for $1,500. I love it, dude. It's a sweet centerpiece. It's better than your wife's centerpiece, like that's nice. Whatever you want to say, be a human being, so that's sweet. And I'll just say, the problem a lot of people are having is obviously with the 720 HD box, just not quite getting the quality that you want. Okay, so it's a gentle peel. It's very gentle. Okay, you're not getting the quality you want. I know that, and obviously you're paying for the entertainment. So that's been a problem. So I'll talk about like the 720 HD. I'll talk about recording. So in a recording conversation could be something like this. Other thing, and if it's let's say it's a cable box and you don't know. So Dish, they make it readable, and on the website it's got all that. So I'm not going to take a lot of time, but Dish. If it's like a 3-digit box number on the bottom left, so like a 722 or whatever, the middle number tells you how many tuners it can do at any given time. So if it's a 2, it can only ever watch a TV and record one at the same time. That's all it can ever do. Okay, it's limited. It's limited to that. So I know that there's problems there. I know that he tries to watch sports, she tries to watch Chip and Joanna Gaines on HGTV, and then she tries to record something. He gets kicked off sports. Then there's marital issues all over the TV, okay? And I joke around a lot in the house, obviously. It's TV. You guys need to be fun with it. Like, it's TV, okay? Do not overcomplicate it. It's freaking TV, okay? Easy. So, but I'll say something effective, hey, so when you're watching the sports in here and she's watching HGTV in her room or Lifetime or whatever she likes, and he'll like laugh. She likes the Hallmark movies. I knew it. My wife too. Okay, if she tries to record again or record something, this can only ever do 2 functions at once. So it's like a guy, it's very limited at multitasking, right? Yeah, okay. So that's been a problem for people. So I'm peeling them away again. Okay, so it's like that's all you can ever do on your box. And they know it. And so it's a nice way. So, and really what I'm doing is I'm just kind of taking an inventory of what they have as well. So I know some hot buttons. So I'm identifying hot buttons. This is how I'm qualifying in the home. So on the doorstep, obviously our qualifying was a little different, but in the home, these are some things that are giving me direction, okay? Now here's a question that I use as well to get direction. So I've talked about HD, I talked about the recording, and then I'll ask them, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at on your service? 10 being you love it, it's perfect, 1 being, you feel like you're not getting what you are paying for. And they'll tell me 7. And I go, perfect, okay, you're a 7. what would make you a 10? Just total hot button right there. What would make you a 10? Well, I've already kind of set them up for it, right? Because I talked about recording and I talked about, oh, sorry, I guess I didn't go into recording too much. I'll talk about how like the 722, it only has 250 hours of recording space, and if they're running out of space, which in Cedar, you're not gonna get that too much, but outside of Cedar City, they run out of recording space a lot. So I'll bring that up too. So I've already set them up to give me 6, 7, 8, like I've already kind of set that up. And they'll tell me, well, I do wish we could do this, and I do wish that we could record in here and watch it upstairs. Like, I wish that would happen. Okay, cool. So if you had those things, it'd be great. Yeah, perfect. So I'm kind of setting them up in my equipment phase. Okay, I'm just talking to them about that stuff, but it's a very genuine conversation, like it's very real. And I'm doing this all on the paper, or I'm doing it on the spec sheet. Okay, I do it on either of those two things. If I have a spec sheet, or I just have them get me a piece of paper, or I'll write it on their bill. I'm just like, hey, let me write it on your bill, and I just jot it on their bill. Okay, and that's pretty much it. The other thing as far as recording goes is, or tuners, I'll talk about how on a 720 box, or I'll ask them, let's say it's a cable, and I go, hey, so on this one, if you record here, can you see it upstairs? Can you watch the recording upstairs? And a lot of time they'll tell me, no, we can't. So they're limited, if they record here, so they record, let's say Moana's on TV, and they record it here, they wouldn't be able to see Moana upstairs. And upstairs is where the kids' room is, so they want to see it in the kids' room, and that's a problem. So obviously the Genie can do that, but I don't tell them that yet. And that's where a lot of rookie sales guys will make the mistake of pouncing on that, boom, pouncing on it, boom. Don't. Just be calm and cool, collected. Okay, I understand. Because honestly, you are there to benefit their lives. You're there to customer service it up. So you kind of got to diagnose. When you go in to see the doctor, they're not like, hey, looks like you need penicillin today. You know, looks, yep. Just let me look. Yep. They check you out. They ask you questions. Like they find out what's going on. They diagnose it. Okay. The more information that you have, the better you'll be. And that's a principle of like negotiation, like negotiating in life. So that's a good little nugget I'll give you guys. Like one of my best practices. If I'm in a negotiation and anything, I want as much information as I can get. You know what I mean? I just want to know, hey, what's going on with this, that, recruiting, anything like that. I want to get as much info as possible instead of pouncing on it right away. And I used to make that mistake all the time, but I just let them, I almost, in this regard, you kind of want the customer to tell you they want it. Like, and I'm pretty good at having that happen, where they're just like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. So that's how I do it. I just keep letting them talk. The person who is talking is obviously the one who's like, or the one asking questions is the one in control. So you're just kind of guiding them where you want them. So that's what I talk about with equipment. It's really simple. You know, and you can go and individually look at all of their receivers. That's fine. Some people like to do that. It obviously gives comfort. I typically, I'll just look at their main receiver and I'll go, oh, do you have more like this or whatever? And I'll sit down with them and then I start writing this down. So the next thing I cover is channels. And I'll just ask them. I have one question I ask them every time, and I ask them, what channel or what channels can you not live without? And I ask it because it's pretty non-threatening, and they laugh at it most of the time, you know, like, what channels can you not live without? Because they know it's TV. It's like it shouldn't be life or death, but to some people it is. So I just kind of like to put it in perspective for them. You know, what can you not live without? And, oh, I need, and then they'll start to tell you. Or if it's a guy, man, I need football, you know, they'll tell you. So then I write it down. So let's say they need HGTV. And I'll just give you some that I run into quite often. Actually, why don't you just throw some out that you run into? TV and Jake, like NFL Network. What else? What do you hear? Okay. Okay. You get that? Just kidding. Huh? Game Show Network. Yeah, Game Show Network. That is on there. The old ladies love the GSN. Yeah, man, slaying the GSN. What about, has anyone said Hallmark yet? Because that's all day, every day. Hallmark. Western, you know what's weird? I don't get that as much here, but in Houston and Austin, all the time. Why? Oh, every old person. Oh my gosh. You got the Encore Westerns? You know I do. I got them for you, Keith. Yep, those are pretty, okay. So this kind of goes back to the resources that we have. So when you're training a new rep, you don't really want to make them learn all of the channels. Like, that's ridiculous. So I've compiled on the website, some worksheets that are very, very simple and will give you everything you need to know. All of these are on there, actually. So you nailed them. I mean, I get these all the time. GSN's on choice, Everything else, no NFL Network's on Choice. Everything else is HGTV, Hallmark, History, Discovery, AMC. That's all on Select. Okay, that's all basic. But you guys will learn that in time, I promise, and it's pretty easy. So I'm asking this because I want to know. I don't want to short them channels. So TV's an interesting game. You could save somebody $70 a month, but if they're not getting the channels they want, that will make them so mad. So it's not like anything else. So in the alarm game, if you didn't give them an alarm equipment piece and they like wanted to add it and it cost them $5 more a month, it was game over. Like they were so mad. TV, if they aren't getting their channels, it's going to be $10 more a month. They are happy to pay it. Okay, they love it. Do not short people their channels. They'll get furious with you. Okay, you give them their channels. So, don't go with the easy. I know sometimes people go with the easy sell. Don't. I mean, give them what they want, because they'll be happy with you. Then you don't have to do retention, which we shouldn't have to with TV. Let's just sell it genuine, like I've said before. Be completely upfront, good, bad, and ugly. Okay. Other question I ask. So see, now I've got my list out, and then I ask this. I ask, is there any channels you're not currently getting that you would like? So those are my 2 questions. I don't ask any more than that on channels. That's my process every time. And like I said, you have to have a flow. You have to have a system. The biggest problem with salesmen in general is they have a very inconsistent training. They have an inconsistent process that, you know what I mean? So they go out and they just do, hopefully this works for me today. Hopefully this works. Hopefully this works. When you think about like golfers, professional golfers have the exact same swing every time. Like if you time from when they get out of the car to when they hit the ball, it's the exact same time. Like the process is the same. Foul shooting, Jeff Hornacek, same thing. Okay, and you drain it, right? Jeff Hornacek, hope you guys like him. If not, get out of my training. Jazz all the way for life. Just kidding. But anyway, so we have to have the same process, and that's my process. Okay, that's my flow. I use it every time, and it works every time. And if they give you a channel they're not currently getting, score. Now you've got a hot button. If not, you at least know what to give them. Okay, and then price. So let me back up a little bit here. When I first get in the home, I do ask for a bill, you know, just because it's nice to have that because you know what channel package they have. You kind of know what you need to get them. This is a shoot from the hip because a lot of people now have it on their phones. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys an experience if they don't have a bill. If they have a bill readily available, I still do this. I still go over equipment. I still go over channels. And I'm actually still going to go over price, but I know what their price is, okay? In the sales manual that I put together on the training website, it says, it has price listed. Not price listed, what does it have? It has it a little bit out of order. So it has like the bill and then they talk, oh yeah, I can definitely save you money, because that's how I used to do it. I actually like this way a lot better. So I just look at the bill and go, okay, yeah, that's a little high, let's talk about it. Sit down. Equipment, channel. Now when I get to price, so I'll ask them. If I don't know, I'll just say, okay, what are you paying for this per month? And this is the only part that I like kind of do a hard peel. Okay, this is my hard peel. And so they will tell me, and usually with a dish deal, if they're out in the boonies especially, it's a lot higher, but if it's a dish deal, just because that's kind of what we're going with, they'll say maybe $100 for what choice should be, or 110, you know, so they're paying about 40, $50 too much. So they say 110. And at that point, I just become a human being, and I kind of just ride it, and then I'm like, whoa, and I just stop what I'm doing. I just look up at them. I'm like, 110 bucks? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you pay that every month? So I want them to like feel that a little. You pay that every month? Like, yeah. I'm like, that's disgusting. And so then here's how I drop my switch. I do it. I say that every time. That's disgusting. That's a lot. And they'll just start. That's when they lose it. Oh my gosh, I know. I hate dish. And I'm like, cool, you know. Like I got them, you know. That's kind of the straw to break the camel's back. Every time that happens, they give it to dish.
Believe me, I know, that's why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. And that at that point in time, yes, you've done it. You know what I mean? At that point in time, you've done it. There's still an art to the sell. So remember, you sell on emotion, you close on logic. And why TV's so good and we can shortcut, which we shouldn't, but why sales reps shortcut and still have 150 years and 200 and 250 is because it's super logical. It's a no-brainer. If you're working the hours, you'll sell. But if I can teach you guys how to do this the right way, yeah, you should be lights out money. I mean, we should be money. So they'll do that and I go, gross. And so I've done it. You know, I've successfully, yes.
And one thing is like, well, you just sit right there. I found a lot oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're gonna get that fixed for you. And you're already kind of like
Cool.
soft closing them the whole time, and it's creating that need of that emotional where they're like, oh man, I kind of do have the old stuff. Huh?
Yeah, that's perfect.
I like going to the wholesale.
Sweet. Yeah, and that's perfect. I do it as well. I just do it really subtle, really subtle. I almost want them in their heart to be like, it's my idea. You know what I mean? I just want them to be like, yeah, dish does suck. I want to, you know. But here's how I'll drop the switch. I go with the professional close, okay? And so I'll just say, you pay that every month, gross. Then I'll go, okay, look. All right, you've obviously got options, and I say with insurance, you go with an agent because an agent is going to help you get the best rate, period. So that's why I use an agent, and then they get a little cut. You can consider me your TV agent. I've got options for you as well. And then you can either start like kind of selling them the Hopper or whatever upgrade, Xfinity X1, you know, just say, let's talk about X1 a little bit, or let's talk about the Hopper. And you can start selling that, and essentially you've got to like sell it. Hey, it would be this, this, and this. And then they'd be like, how much would that run me? And it literally is like $200 for an existing customer to get it. And it's an extra 12 a month or 7 a month or whatever. Like it's more money, okay? It's literally not advantageous. And when we were selling Dish, actually, we could do Dish upgrades. The commission was $50 total, like grand total. And the customer legit paid $12 more per month. Like it was the biggest scam in the world. And then they had to sign a 2-year contract. So their bill would go from 110 to like 122. It was the worst. So not worth it. Literally, it is best for customers to become new customers. That's it. Like it's better. And so anyway, I go back to my professional line. So I'll say, look, okay, you go with an insurance agent because they know the game. They study it. You're a dad of 3 kids. You do not have time to study the TV world. I get it. You like to watch it, but behind the scenes, you don't know what's going on. And that's fine. That's why I'm here. Okay, I want to offer you a better deal. So let's just talk for 2 seconds. I know you didn't think about this before I came. So I always kind of silence them because sometimes you'll drop DirecTV and they're like, oh, I don't want DirecTV. So I just say, I know you didn't think about this and I really want you to hear me out. So I get genuine with them. Just hear me out, man. Okay, I recommend you become a new customer. And here's why. New customers get all the new benefits. They get the free equipment upgrades. They get the bill reduction. Like they get the goods. Okay, so if we make you a new customer, you're going to get those benefits. And sometimes they'll kind of cut me off and go, with Dish? And I'll just know that's fraud. Okay, we can't just make you a new customer on something you already have. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to go direct. And here's why, hear me out. So they're not like, oh, I don't want direct. You'll get that sometimes too. I still get stubborn people who are like, nope, never going back to direct because I didn't pay my bill and they sent me to collections. I'm like, oh, weird. You know, just like weird things, huh? Sometimes you just get weird stuff. Like, I'm not going to direct because 10 years ago, they didn't, I don't know, they like didn't come out and service my stuff. You still get that. But you can close over the top of that for the most part. Every now and again, you'll still get someone real stubborn. Anyway, so getting back to it, I say we make you a new customer with DirecTV, and here's why. Hear me out, okay? As a new customer, you will get, so we were talking about equipment. Now look what I do. So I draw this line down my paper, or it's already done on the spec sheet, and I just circle DirecTV on the spec sheet. I'm going to go over ECP again. So my flow is the same. And I do this, like I said, it's very easy to train new reps on this. And they've got a flow and they're dynamite in the home because they just do this. Boom, 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 boom. And they close the deal and it's done. Like, it's amazing. Works wonders. So here I am. Now I'm going to give you some secret sauce on this as well, okay? And these are just some things I've learned selling through the years and it works super well. So like I said, you still have to sell on emotion. Here's how you can build some good emotion during the equipment part. So I say, okay, you obviously, you wanted this because they already told me they wanted it because they were a 7, right? And to become a 10, they wanted. So I said, you wanted to be able to have it where you could record. So let's say record on all TVs. Okay, you wanted that. And I can see it now. So now I'm going to paint a picture. Okay, I'm going to 2.0 their life. I can see it now, man. New hit movie, Moana, comes out. Okay, kid wants to watch it. You record it down here. Now she's able to see it in the family room upstairs, okay? I can see it now. This new TV that you bought, okay, you're gonna have 1080, and actually we have the ability to do 4K as well. So this is it, dude. This is the party place. People are gonna come over, they're gonna be watching the game on this. I can see it now. So I'm like painting their life, 2.0. It'll be awesome, dude. You'll be able to have the 1080 HD on here. Okay, the game's gonna look good. You'll be able to see the sweat glands on the players, like, you know, just joke around, but that's awesome. Everyone's coming here, you know, and so I'm like painting that picture for Chip and Joanna Gaines never looked better. You think the paint color they chose was good before? It's gonna be way better now. you know, things like that. So I become a person. This is the only time I'm selling. And then I do here's my other secret sauce. So closing is the art of relieving buying pressure. That's all it is. Okay, the best closers can relieve buying pressure, and they relieve it throughout the deal, like you were talking about when you're kind of peeling them. You're just relieving buying pressure the whole time, and that's what I'm doing too. This is a great way to relieve buying pressure, and it's called an option close. So you can say this, okay? Would you like your genie here, where the hopper is, or where whatever is, or do you want it upstairs? Where do you want it? Because it's an option close. They're not saying no. They're telling you, oh, I want my genie here. So that's a good time to ask that. Okay, so you want it here? Perfect. Okay, awesome. So I'll talk to them about that. And then the other thing is kind of just making them say yes a bunch, which I don't love that one because I feel like when people say no, it gives them control, and that's good. It really is. Because if I say no to something, I feel like the ball's back in my court and I'm not just like accepting whatever's being told to me. So psychology states, okay, if somebody says no, like they feel like they're in control and they're making the decision. So I want them to say no at some point. I don't want to be like the yes man, but I do want to have them say yes a bunch as well. It's still good. I don't want you to get confused with that. I think that's a big mistake people make, you know, and you think about it too, sorry to go on this tangent, but a lot of people 40 and older, like they just grew up, the telemarketer's calling, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, how would you like to save this? How would you like to, what if you could say, would that be helpful? Like they ask so many yes-based questions that automatically turns the brain off. Does that make sense? See, there's a yes. So I use does that make sense a lot and stuff, but I don't use like your gimmicks. So for instance, 1080 HD, this is gonna be the party house, right, Dane?
Right on.
Right on, okay, cool. So do you want it here or do you want it upstairs?
Upstairs.
Okay, we'll put it upstairs. That sounds good, man. Also, and see, so I'm just rolling. I'm just rolling him. Boom, boom, boom. And that's stuff that people don't use and they should. Okay, so I'm rolling him through the cell now. Now I'm picking up momentum, but the ball's still in his court. It's just, it's money in the bank. So we talked about that, and then I'll say also, man, I know you guys said you like to record a lot. I'll hook you up for that as well. We now have 1,000 hours shared, so you'll be able to record plenty. And the wife will like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I figured. Channels, let's keep you with the same. Boom, so I just rolled right into it. Channels will just keep you the same. Okay, you'll be able to have all the same, because you mentioned you didn't want to add any more. You sure about that? You know, like whatever you want to say right there, okay? It's fine, but channels, let's just keep it the same. Keep it the 200 package, that's fine. Okay, it's going to be called Choice. You'll also get, I know that you're an NFL fan. I'm sure you've heard about Sunday Ticket, so I dropped this right here. You know, NFL Sunday Ticket. Like, heck yeah. Okay, it's time. It's time you experienced it for yourself. All right? And also, side note, in the equipment, if he's a younger guy, I'll talk about being able to stream and do stuff from the device, which is unreal. It really is cool what they can do. You can get games anywhere, anytime. I watch basketball on my iPad all the time, and I freaking love it. It's so good. It makes my life great. You know what I mean? So anyway, and then I say, now look, man, biggest thing is this. Okay, so I hit him with price. This is why I mentioned it all. Okay, you're getting everything you want. You're going to have the 10 experience you were looking for. Your price is now going to be $60. With tax, you're probably looking about 65 to 68. Okay, so see, I still dropped the negative. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. I want them to know there's negatives. And here's my other negative. So it's 65 to 68. There is a catch to this. I know that you thought there was, and he'll always, I knew there was a catch. Okay, it's $50 to turn this thing on. All right? $50. That's not going to break the bank, right? Perfect. Okay, so you'll be saving over the course of that first year $50. If they don't have a bundle, I will mention after the first year it will increase. Okay, but it's not going to go up $50, so you'll be fine. Then I'll just take the difference. Okay, 50 times 12, so $600. Okay, so the first year you're going to be saving $600. Dane, let me ask you this, man. What do you want to do with that money?
I don't know, I haven't thought about it. Something cool.
Something cool. Congrats on something cool, man. Let's just leave the name the same that's on your current bill, Dane Stoltz, and the address, you want it the same?
Yep.
What number do you want on the account?
9.
Okay, boom. Okay, that's how I close. That's it. That's my process. I do it every single time. And like a science, it works every single time. I get a few bumps and bruises along the way sometimes. Sometimes they'll kind of do something I didn't expect. Sometimes I walk away without a close too, but not very likely. Okay, I'm going to get them. Whether there's 2 guys on my back or, I'm going to get them. Okay, and that's the same process I use every single time. Make sense? Yeah. Soft closed you right there. That's a soft close. I do want to do a little bit of practice with this because I know that, like I said, doing the things that other people won't is what's going to give you guys the success that other people don't have. And it's a lot of information to take in, and there's kind of a lot to it. So during the summertime, these are good things to add to correlation. Okay, just little pieces here and there. So for instance, talk about features versus benefits. You know, something like that. Go over features versus benefits, and that way you're selling the benefits during equipment. Because I don't expect you guys to learn everything I just said. Like there's quite a bit that goes into it, but it is simple. Please don't complicate it. Sales in general are simple, man. You're finding somebody who has a need and you're filling it, and you're adding value to people's lives. That's it. Okay. The reason why you're getting paid is because you're selling a new contract. DirecTV is getting paid for that, so they pay the dealer. You're getting paid because you're selling. I mean, that's it. It's very simple, you know. A lot of people are like, man, I really want to go work an hourly job, and I get it, but think about it. They're paying you based on your value you're providing for the company. But this way, you have a tangible that you can add. Do the same thing in your sell. Like, what can you do for the customer? And if you can help them, help them. And if not, go to the next house. That's very simple. If you can't help someone, like, okay, next. On to the next. Don't waste your time. Don't waste their time. Don't mentally beat your head against the wall. Like, that's it. Okay? All right. So presentation. I did have just a couple principles I wanted to cover now that that's done. You know, a couple of presentation principles. And one that I think is really, really big is you need to really stress the importance of becoming a new customer. So stress that. Okay? That's something that's a very, very important part of it. Like, the only way to achieve these benefits is to be a new customer. Okay, let's make you a new customer. You need to really stress that. That's the important part. They need to become a new customer. So by switching to direct, they're going to have those benefits. Okay, so that's a huge principle. Principle 2 is just be genuine, and I've already hit that quite a bit. But if they ask you a question, just hit it. Okay, hit it. Be real. Will this increase? Will my bill increase the next year? If they don't have AT&T, yeah, it will. Like, just hit them. It's fine. Okay? Yeah, it will. And they'll be like, okay, cool. Yes.
What do you say when they say, how much is it going to increase?
30 to 40 bucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 30 to 40 bucks. That's kind of what you're looking at. And then just roll through. I mean, no one is going to like, okay, whoa, unless you do it like this. Yeah, it does kind of. And then they're like, what are you trying to do? You know what I mean? What are you trying to do here? So just hit them straight. Okay, be genuine. It's fine. It's okay. You know, at the end of the day, you gotta be real. Okay, be honest. If you don't have your integrity at the end of the day, you've lost the day. So, okay. Other than that, those are pretty much my principles and best practices. Thanks for doing the role plays. Those are important. And I know that after a role play, the brain's kind of like, ugh. So, if you need some energy, just kind of you pump your chest and yes. Just do some. Yeah, do some of that. Just kidding, you're all right. But actually saying yes does make you feel good. Yes, I do it all the time, yes. Okay, let's talk about the last two. Okay, we're about there. Objections and closing. And I kind of go over these together. So talk to me, you guys who have done the satellite biz. Give me a few objections. And we already talked about the main 6. Okay, we did that with prospecting. So sorry you guys missed it. It's all right. Let's go over some objections that you run into in the TV land that you've heard. Yep.
I don't know what ones you've gone over, but
None yet, besides the big 6 that we did on prospecting, but they didn't have anything to do with TV.
oh, okay. So the biggest ones you probably run into is satellite on the roof,
Satellite on the roof. That is a objection.
DirecTV.
Yep. On roof. Let's do DirecTV. Don't want direct.
My neighbor has DirecTV, and their satellite always goes out.
Uh-huh. Okay. What else do you guys hear?
Wiring? I don't know.
Not too much wire, but yeah, I was gonna say.
Use my recorded shows.
Don't want to lose my shows, which is ridiculous, but cool. Lose my shows. Yeah. Don't want to break my bundle. That one can be a problem for sure. Break my bundle, but we should not be losing people to break my bundle. But we'll go over all these. Break my bundle? Question mark?
You talked about a price going up.
Price increase. I don't really lose a lot to that, but I see where you're coming from. What about, do you guys ever?
Understanding like switching back and forth every 2 years. Like,
Yeah, they can do that. Sure. Switch. What about, do you guys ever just get people who are like, I need to think about it? You ever just get that? Just let me think about it. Leave me some notes. I'll just think about it. Because I think that one, I get that one sometimes, you know. Think about it. I'm actually going to let Alex handle some of these as well with this vast experience.
Or I've gotten a few times that the customer service at DirecTV is...
Cool. I was hoping someone would bring that up. Customer service sucked.
Yeah.
Say it as it is. Customer service sucks. Yep, so just, we'll put that all in the same. Customer service sucks.
And I had one that said that they got DirecTV, they couldn't get any HD.
Yeah, how long ago did they have it? Did they get it?
Well, they claimed it was only 3 years ago. I think it was longer.
Okay. I've never actually had that one, so I don't know if we'll ever...
That was kind of a weird...
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if we're going to run into that much. I'm not going to, yeah. I think a lot of these, we'll boil that down for sure. I think a lot of these are going to be something you don't think they are. Okay.
what about like moving? Like we don't know how long we're gonna live here, or
Sometimes. I don't get those too much.
we're
But.
gonna cancel it anyways and just use Netflix and Hulu.
So that sometimes you get Netflix or Hulu. Let's put that down. Okay, Netflix or Hulu. This is a good list. Let's keep going if you guys have others. That's a good one. Thanks for thinking of that. That one I do get from time to time. Netflix or Hulu. I just want to stream. What else? What other objections? Satellite on roof. Don't want satellite on roof. Don't want DirecTV. Lose my recorded shows.
Gotta check with the wife.
Break my bundle.
My husband.
I'll hit check with wife as well. That's good. Check with spouse. Give me that for check with spouse. Price increase. Think about it. Need to think about it. Customer service sucks. Netflix or Hulu is better. Check with my spouse. That's pretty comprehensive.
There's lots of little ones, but those are.
Yeah, that's pretty comprehensive actually, but
He didn't signal last.
that one's on there. Kind of satellite on roof, same thing.
It's like our neighbor's signal goes out.
Yeah. You got
I
one?
think the most common one is just a pretty ambiguous, meh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
That one's kind
Our
of,
equipment works fine.
Yeah, that's kind of the think about it. All is well. I'll put that down there.
All is well.
All is well. Yeah. We'll do that one. Okay. This is a pretty good list right here. Boom. Think that's a good objections list. Okay. I'm going to go over a couple of principles on getting over objections first, and then we'll actually talk about these in particular. So, in my experience, okay, objections are oftentimes complaints unless brought up more than one time. Okay, so if they bring up an objection, I usually just kind of roll right over it at first because then I can tell if it's real or not. So for instance, satellite on my roof. I don't really want a satellite on my roof. I understand. So I agree with them. That's always kind of the first rule in overcoming objections, by the way. Agree. So let me put that on over here. So you agree? I agree with you. Or yeah, sure. Okay, something that validates a little bit. Okay, agree. Because think about it like this. You don't want any of these to break out into arguments. And some people by nature, you're going to attack these like, well, so I don't want a satellite on my roof. Oh, well, it's not a big deal. And it's kind of like a fight. Think about it in like a relationship. So me and Haley aren't seeing eye to eye on something. And let's just say she says, you know, I don't feel like you're really listening. And I go, I agree with you. I'll do better. What is she going to say? What's the next line out of her mouth? Okay, the argument's done, right? I don't feel like you're doing the dishes as much as you should. I agree with you. I'll do better. I'll do it. Done. Okay, done. What are they going to say? And a lot of these, believe it or not, are just complaints. I'm telling you, like they're just looking for little smoke screens to get you off out of the house. Is that right? I mean, I used to get that more often than anything, just little smoke screens. So I agree. Okay, I don't really want a satellite from a roof. I agree with you. You know. And then I go into a couple of different standards, you know, obviously the feel, felt, found, you can do that technique. Hey, I agree with you. Joneses felt the same way. Here's what they have found. Okay, you can just go right in like that. Hey, I agree with you. The Kellers, yep, they have that same problem, but This is kind of what they found. So you can do it that way, or I've actually gotten, and maybe it's laziness, I don't know, but I found a lot of success in just literally like rolling right over the top of it at first, unless they really bring it up again. So I don't really want to sell them. Hey, I agree with you. What name do you want this in? Like I just go right into the close. It's weird, it works. And I started that at Vivint and it worked super well for me. So it was like, they would say, wow, this price is too high. And I go, I agree with you, the price is high, let's do it anyway. And we just go right into it. Like, and it works, I promise. It sounds so counterintuitive, but they just kind of want to be heard. And think about it this way, you pull up at a gas pump and gas prices have been increasing and you go, man, gas is sure expensive. In with your card, out with the pump, in it goes. It's not like you know what I mean? It's not an objection that's going to keep you from getting gas. Like it's not going to keep you from doing that. Okay, so sometimes you just have to be bold with that. I can tell you a little bit on what I would do with these. So satellite on roof, I just go into an option close, me personally. So if you want to write these down, that's fine. I'll give you my best practice, and I think it'd be good to have some Alex best practices as well. He has literally years in this game, way more than I do. But here's some things that I've used that work like a charm. So satellite on the roof, I go right into an option close. Would you rather have it on your roof or on the pole in the backyard? So I just option closed them up. They tell me, actually would rather have a pole in the backyard. They didn't say no to the sell, did they? I didn't make a big deal out of it. I just went right in. Hey, I agree with you. Would you rather have it on the roof or on a pole in the backyard? So it's not even like, hey, well, we could do it on a pole. What do you think of that? Because then they're like, well, I don't know. They have an option. Okay, as soon as they answer, you need to understand you roll right back into the close. That's the biggest mistake that reps make. Roll right back in. Would you rather have it this or there? There, perfect. Okay, cool. What name do you want on the account? Like I'm right back into the close. Because if it goes smooth in the presentation, which usually if you're having an issue at one step, it's because you did something at the other step that was a little off. So if you're running into a bunch of objections, your presentation wasn't quite what it should have been. If you're running into a bunch of issues trying to go for the close and getting a ton of these, you're not handling these right throughout the presentation. You know what I mean? It is kind of how it is. All right, so that's my option for satellite on roof. Do you have any others that you use, Mr. Baird?
I love that.
Yeah, it's amazing because it's a close built in. Okay, so I'd use that. And that's done. Don't want DirecTV. Okay, so this one's done. Hey, I agree with you. You know what TB does, and it works super well, and I've never tried this, but he does it, and he kills it. He just says they both suck. Like, doesn't he do that? And it's crazy. He's like, yeah, Dish and Direct both suck, and let's do it anyway. And he goes in, and he gets it done, and I don't get it. Like, cool.
I just both do the same thing in the end.
Sweet. And I just do it a little more positive. I go, they're both great, like, they're the same thing. And they're like, oh yeah, that's true. So that's how I do it, but he just does it like, yeah, they both suck. Let's do it. And they're like, okay. And I don't know how he does it, but somehow he does it. So whatever works for you on that one. I think you're right. The steamroll's the best. Here's another thing though, is isolating. So when you're handling it, you kind of have to be bold at the closing table. So I slow down. I don't speed up my language, and I'm just very calm. Okay, I'm super calm because it kind of puts them at ease. And the more crazy they're getting and the more emotional, we tend to get emotional with them. But think about it, like if they're like losing their mind and you're totally normal, who's winning the battle? You know what I mean? Like the quote that I love is weak is the man who lets his emotions control his actions. Strong is the man who lets his actions control his emotions. And in life, I mean, that's a good life lesson, kind of a little nugget I'll insert there. Don't let little things razz you and take control. Like, are you going to give someone else control? No, I hope not. You're going to give someone else control of your bank account? Hope not. This is your life. Like, live your life. When you're sitting in the closing table and they're telling you, I don't want direct, I had a problem, I had this, don't get all crazy. Just, okay, agree with them. And then here's the isolation technique. So, was it you that had a problem or your neighbor? Because someone had to have a problem. Then they'll say, it was me that had the problem. Okay, what was the problem? You kind of isolate it. Because here's what it's going to boil down to. It's most likely going to be customer service issues that they had, like calling into direct, which we can handle very easily by having a local call center. We give them the local call center number every time. On that protection plan paper, it has our call center. Give them that number because they'll call in and they're a retention department built in. Am I right or am I right? So they're going to help us retain customers as well. It's not, it's not DirecTV. They're not going to be like, oh, I don't care if you cancel. They care because we all get paid. You know what I mean? The call center makes money and has a job because you guys are selling, which, like I said, that's why we appreciate you. You are the lifeblood of this company. We don't forget that. We'll take care of you. So we're going to take care of your customers as well. Yes?
Yeah, so our retention department, it's a couple people, and they all make their money based on the retention percentage.
Sweet.
So the worst percentage they have, the less money they make, so they're pretty incentivized.
Sweet. Okay, so just to repeat that on the thing, because I've got the mic, the retention department, there are people that are paid based on percentages. So if they save a bunch of customers, they get paid more. If not, they get paid less. So they're incentivized to save your guys. Long story short, isolate the objection, say, hey, that's why I'm here. So I do love that classic line, that's why I'm here. I use it a lot. That's why I'm here. No one wants to deal with someone in India. I get it. Like, it's frustrating to call somebody and not get somebody. Now, here's how I go into the close, though. This is the difference, and this is super bold, and I love it. Let me show you real quick that our call center answers right away and speaks English. I'll just call this in, and what I'm doing is I'm calling it in. Like, I'm calling the deal in. So I pull out my phone, I call the call center, they come on, it's on speakerphone, and I start selling. I start running the deal right then and there. So they've given me this problem, and I just like, boom, here we go, and I'm running it. I run the deal right there. Does that make sense? So I get them that way. Just, hey, check this out. And I roll through, and it works really well. So, okay, customer came back 5 stars. Congrats, yes, you came back, right on. How many TVs you want? You know what I mean? I just sell them right there. So that is something that we can do. Okay, don't want DirecTV, you need to isolate that. Was it you? So this is what I ask. Was it you that had a problem or your neighbor? Because someone had a problem, and so you just need to isolate it. Be bold, go right to the source. Don't beat around the bush. Oh, well, just go right into it, okay? I always just steamroll first. Okay, I agree with you. Do the TV, they both suck. Or, yeah, they're both the exact same thing. You know what I mean? And let's just do this. And if that doesn't work, isolate. Make sense? So that's how I get over it. Anything else, Mr. Baird?
I think that's excellent, man. I think you're nailing it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Lose my shows. I don't want to lose my shows. So with that, I will kind of hit the money. I'll hit the money on that one first and foremost. And I'll just say, okay, you've got your shows. Is that worth $60 a month to keep your shows? And if they're like, yes, I'm like, what? And I just kind of like act like $60 to keep your show, really? And then they'll be like, yeah. And then that's when I get genuine with them, okay? So let's restart. So lose my shows, I always hit them with the money first. So is it worth $60 a month to keep your shows? And if they go, yeah, it is, there's something deeper happening there, which a lot of these that you guys have given me, I'm telling you right now, the biggest objection that you're running into is legitimacy, I promise. The biggest objection these are just like smoke screens. Oh, I have this, I have that, I have this. Like, they probably just don't trust you, honestly. And if you keep running into no's over and over again, my last resort is just I go right to the legitimacy thing. So here's an example. So they say that in the money. Is it worth $60? Yeah, it's worth $60 to keep my shows. And then I say, I feel like I'm missing something. I just look them right in the eyes. I do. I feel like I'm missing something here. Is it me? Like, I know that we just met. Do you not trust me? And they're like, oh no, I trust you just fine. Okay. Would you trust my judgment in this situation? Yes, I would. I would trust your judgment. Okay. I cannot let you do that because I know that now with DirecTV, they've got a way where you can go back in time with the 72-hour playback. And I know that they're making it so that you can stream multiple shows. Like, this clearly is the best option for you. And you know it, and I know it. And ethically, I can't leave without you doing this. So we're going to do this. Boom. Okay? So it's the genuine approach. That's my last resort.
Smart search.
Yep, I just hit them. Boom. Right there. Because that's what it is. It is legitimacy, and I know it is. So I start playful, and then I get real. I get super real, and I just, hey, it's me, huh? It's me. And they're like, they don't have the heart to tell you it's you. So they're like, no, it's not you. So you trust my judgment? Yes. Okay. This is what I think we should do, and here's why. And so I go into it. Okay, with DirecTV, they've got the 72-hour playback now. You can go back in time, and I really feel like they're making it so it's going to be just like, wouldn't you say they're making it more like a Netflix scenario where you can go back in seasons? Because when I get on my app or whatever, I can see like season 3 and season 4 of things. Like they've got.
A lot of it is just going to be like the major networks.
Yeah.
Have that play back. But with this objection, something that works really well.
Cool.
They've got, for example, Dish Network, and they've got a bunch of stuff recorded. Even after they cancel their service, they don't have to return their equipment for up to 30 days. And you can plug in your old Dish box, even without an account, and access DVR.
Didn't know
You've
that.
got 30 days to watch those shows.
Okay, you guys hear that?
Keep your signal, you hit the list pops up.
Sweet. Okay, so repeat that. So if it's a lose my shows objection, they've got 30 days to return the equipment. With Dish, they can access all of their DVR recordings, so they can plug it back into their TV and watch everything for 30 days. So yeah, that one, I don't feel like I lose deals due to that one much. Like that one's pretty simple. So you can do that as well. That's perfect.
You know.
Cool. Yeah, there are.
And then I just squash it and go quick. Move on.
And I like that. That's the biggest principle I can teach you guys. Yes, as soon as that objection's done, roll right back into the close. Don't give it time, because objections like love time. They feed on time. And there's really, if you give it time, it's showing them, which obviously your actions are more believable than your words. It is showing them that you don't trust what you're doing. Like it's just showing them like, are you gonna do it yet? Like maybe, can we do this? Can we not? Just, yeah, we're doing this. It's really is better for the customer. That's why I switched to TV. Like it's better, period. End of story. Cool, thank you.
One more.
Yeah,
No way we install you the same day or next day, but since you have a DVR situation, I'm gonna go ahead and push it out 5 days and give you 5 more the whole week.
yeah, you could do that. You could do that too.
It's Monday instead of Friday.
That'd be good too. I mean,
And then you know they're a bunch of girls,
cool. Yeah, that would work. I mean, just whatever works for you, kind of a, you know. All right, let's talk about break my bundle for just a second. I think that one's really simple. I think it's just, hey, that's a marketing ploy. I kind of just go to marketing on that. So let's talk about that break my bundle. It's marketing ploy. Okay, obviously you're gonna call in. They're gonna tell you at first that it's gonna cost you more to break your bundle, because obviously they want you to keep the bundle, because you're paying $189 a month right now. If I was them and you were paying me $189, I wouldn't want you to stop either. Okay, so that's how I hit that. I wouldn't want you to stop, that's great. Here's the truth of it though. Do you think that they're gonna want $0 from you or $50 from you? Oh, 50's fine. Okay, they're gonna let you do just internet. And if you love your internet, let's just do that, okay? You're not using the home line, I know that, so I'm gonna save you 40 bucks there. I'm gonna save you on your TV. Let's do this. And I go in. That's pretty much my break my bundle. Yeah. Perfect, yeah, so do research. That's really smart. Research your companies, make sure you know what's up. Yeah, I just barely was telling them before you guys got here, I separated a CenturyLink the other day. They're getting a way better deal now, because the CenturyLink internet, they give new customer promos. So even though they've had it, they give a new customer promo for 24 months, and it was like 40 bucks. It was cheap, 40 bucks, so saving like 80 off the top. Okay, let's do price increase real quick. So same kind of thing. I like to, with this one, I just kind of like to hit it hard, rip it off like a Band-Aid, and just let them know what's happening. So if they're like, I don't want to do it because my second year price will increase, I just hit them straight up, yeah, it's going to increase. Let's talk about, there's two different ways I do this. One, actually, a pros and cons list is a good closing technique to use. You know, let's just look at the pros and cons, what you're getting now, and what's the cons. So pros, new Genie, Genie's magic, no, I'm just kidding. But okay, new Genie, this, that. Cons, your bill goes up. Pros, HD 1080 in each room. Cons, the bill goes up. Pros, like, and you just keep doing that until you just like destroy it, and then you've got like a big list and a small list, and then you go, okay, let's just use logic here. This is better, and then I close them. So that one's good. And I actually do that in recruiting as well, just a little plug for recruiting. I'll do that, hey, I was thinking about going out with these guys, and I was thinking about going out with you. And I go, okay, cool, why were you thinking about going out with me? This, what about them? That. Why me? Boom. Why them? Boom. Why me? Boom. Why them? Boom. And I just keep listening out. Why me? And until they like run out of things to say about them, they keep going with me. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, okay, just makes sense. It's up to you. I'm not gonna push you, but it just makes sense, man. I'll talk to you later. And then I bail. You know what I mean? So.
Where do you like plug?
Oh, sorry, I'll get you.
Where do you plug that their price can stay for the 2 years if they get the internet with AT&T?
So, what do you mean? Where do you plug that? Sorry.
Like when do you explain that? So they say, but my price is going to go up. You say,
yeah, you could do that.
Year $40 the second year unless.
Yeah. Well, I ask them what carrier they have usually, like cell phones, but.
That's what I do. Like,
okay.
On the doorstep when I'm still I don't know how you explained it before, but I call it putting arrows in my quiver. Like when I'm asking questions, they're telling me they're hot buttons, but I'm not releasing them. I'm asking them stuff so that I
Cool.
know whether they're going to be a 1 year or 2 year deal from the beginning.
Yep.
Because I don't want to be pitching a 2 year deal and then have
And
to
then find out they don't.
Correct.
You're gonna be-
Yeah, that's good. So he's just saying, from the beginning, put arrows in the quiver, like what we talked about earlier.
Sucks. So you guys are Verizon or AT&T?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can ask that. Who's your cell phone carrier? You can ask that on equipment. Well, who's your internet through? I ask that in Texas all the time. Who's your internet through? Because I want it. If it's AT&T, it's money. If it's U-verse from the beginning, it's money too. But I don't need to teach you guys that process. If you ever go blitz an AT&T market, though, we'll have a little training first because U-verses are money. You had a question, Scott?
Yeah, so the first year you're saying it's going to be down, the second year go up. Will it ever go up past what they're paying at the time, or is it like a slow increase?
It's a slow increase. So there's a big jump second year, usually $30-$40, and then after that it's slow. So
they're probably paying less than they're paying.
yeah, it's beneficial. I mean, you'll see this. Cedar City, there are quite a few people who stay on top of their bill, but outside of that, not really. Like Utah, people are pretty good to stay on top of it, especially because there's quite a few sellers in the area. So people are more open to the idea of switching. Most of the time I'm talking to people who are like, they do not switch for years and years, and it's like $120 or $150. Like it's high. Sometimes it's wild out of control. So
They're still saving like $400 or $500 or $600 though.
yeah, it's still,
Like they don't.
yep,
Oh, yeah, it's gonna go $30. Yeah, you'll still be a little less than what you are now. So is that 2 or 3 TV?
correct. And that's it. I mean, you're nailing it right on the head. And anyone who's done sales knows that. I need to drive that into your head. Like you just squash it, move on. I like that phrase. Okay, you squash it, move on. That's what I mean. When I agree, I just agree and go on. Like I don't really linger. And it's not because I'm trying to tiptoe around it. Honestly, I don't want to tiptoe. I want to just like pancake level lineman status, like you're done. It's not a big deal to me. Price increase is not a big deal. And here's what, you can be real with people, like you really can hit them so honest and just say, dude, your price is increasing now. Like, sometimes I'll do the financial planner thing, and I don't pull this one off too much, but if they're like, oh, I'm worried about it going up, I'm like, how much has it gone up in the last 6 months? Oh, it keeps going up $3. So over the course of 2 years, it's gonna go up how much? It's gonna go up. Currently, at the rate you're on, you're going to be paying $30 more than you are right now. So over the course of 2 years, you're saving that plus inflation. You know what I mean? I just hit it like a financial planner would. But anyway.
I'll pull out my phone and look at it.
Uh-huh.
And just kind of start scrolling through it. Yeah, I'll pull up your discount right now.
I don't do that, but.
Price increase is coming this year. You never question me on it.
I don't really do that, but if that works for you. I wouldn't recommend that, but. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so think about it. Okay, I need to think about it. So this one is real. You'll get this one all the time. Or like oh yeah, everything's okay. This one I do the 3 Ps, and this is on the website. Okay, so I go over product, I go over price. Come on, marker, work for me. So product, price, and I go over people, essentially. So just 3 Ps, like you've learned that in your marketing classes. For those of you who pay attention in your marketing classes, you've learned it. Okay, so I start just like this. I write this down, I go, I agree with you. So I start with the agree. When I'm making a big decision, there's 3 things I always consider. Can I share them with you? Yes, you may. Perfect. First is product, okay? And then I kind of go over the benefits again. Having the new Genie, this, that, and the other, that makes sense to you, right? Yes. Okay, so that's a go? Yeah, that's a go. So I like do a check mark or I'll circle it or whatever. Sorry, I can't really check mark like that. I don't know how elementary schoolers, teachers do that, but they do it. Maybe I'll just circle it. Then price is my next thing. So you're saving $60 a month for your first year. Is that worth it? That makes sense to you? Yes. Then I go, okay, perfect. That's kind of what I thought. It's me, isn't it? You know what I mean? I just like hit him, genuine. I'm back to that. Okay, people. Do you trust me to do business with you over the course of the next couple of years? Can I win your business? No, you can't win my business. Like, people hardly ever say that. Can I earn your business? Yes, you can. Okay, that's it. We've done it. Okay? The decision's been made. I'm just going to call in real quick. Boom, and out goes my phone, and I call in, and I just roll through. Okay, so the 3 Ps help me a lot on think about it. Because when it comes down to it, guys, like, legitimacy is the problem. They just don't trust the offer. If it makes sense, they're not thinking about anything. The people who are telling you they're thinking about it, they bought most of the things they have on impulse buys. They probably have a nice car in the garage. Like they make knee-jerk decisions because it's cool. All right, so you need to understand, like they're just BSing you because they don't want to be sold. And I'll just call that out. It's fine to do that. You just have to be genuine with it. Think about it. My other quick squash objections, just kind of Grant Cardone, like thought is instantaneous. Think of your house on fire. And they're like, okay. I'm like, okay, you thought of it. Think of an elephant. Okay, you thought about it. You've thought about this offer already. You know what you want to do. It's decision time. Let's do this. And I just go, boom, boom. But you have to be bold on that one. That one doesn't work as well for first years, but I use that one. Thought's instantaneous, man. Like, you don't have to think about it, okay? You just be genuine. That's think about it to me. Just realize a lot of these come down to legitimacy. That's it. You know, customer service sucks. I already talked about that one with the don't want DirecTV. Just use the call center, okay? Netflix or Hulu, I'm thinking about streaming. I love this one because I just hit them genuine as well. Why haven't you done it yet, is what I ask. So if I'm Netflix or Hulu, why haven't you done it yet? And they go, well, I don't know. You're not gonna do it. If you were really gonna do it, it'd be done. If you really were gonna disconnect your TV service, you'd have already done it. Let's do it right now. Bring me your phone, I'll disconnect it for you. No, I don't want that. Okay then. Of course, I know you don't want that. You're a sports lover. I'm a sports lover. DTV is the best in sports. Let's do it. Boom. Okay? So just call them out. Like, why haven't you done it yet? Hey, I'll help you do it right now. So that's Netflix or Hulu. All right? And then last but not least, check with spouse. This is usually not valid if in the home they're giving you all the equipment, channel prices. If you ask, hey, what equipment are you running here? You ask kind of like about channels. What channels can you not live without? And they go, I don't know. My wife makes all the decisions. Stop the process right there. You've gone too far. Stop it, because you're gonna run into a spouse objection, guaranteed. Okay, so you're gonna run into it. So don't waste any more time. Don't waste 30 minutes that you could be spending with somebody else. Like, stop it right there. Hey, I have an availability tonight at 9. Can I come back when she's here and we'll just talk about it? I promise that this is actually going to help you guys out a lot, what I'll cover. And just leave this paper for me. Yeah, that'd be fine. Okay, I'll be back at 9. So you set a late appointment, you leave the house, okay? If they've given you it all, like, hey, this is what we pay, this is our channels, this is our, the ECP, they're going through it all with you, and you can tell that they're the decision maker on it, which you can. And then they try to give you the spouse close. This is the best spouse close ever. So I just say, all right, Taylor, what if she says no, man? And he goes, she's not gonna say no. And I go, cool, man. And we do it. And it works like 9 times out of 10. Or it goes like this, Taylor, what if she says no? And he goes, we're not doing it if she says no. If she says no, like, we're not gonna do it. And I just go, what's she gonna say no to, man? The price or the product? Well, the product. What about the product? Well, DirecTV sucks. Okay. Did you have an experience? Did your neighbor have an experience? My neighbor had an experience. And then I call him out and I go, ha, she doesn't even know I'm here. Like, that's your objection, and I just call him out. Like, now you know it's his. So that's how I get his objection, because I know that's what I'm dealing with. It's not a spouse. It's never a spouse. Ever is it a spouse. People make decisions without their spouses all the time nowadays, and it's TV. And would your spouse object to saving $60 a month? That's an obvious no-brainer. That's not going to close them, though. It usually doesn't close. I used to try to use that, and I couldn't close over the top a lot. Like, would she object? Would he be opposed to you, saving $60 a month? It just doesn't work, So, yeah, but that works every time. What if she says no? What if he says no? Just ask it like that. What if he says no? He's not going to say no. And I go, my wife, same way. I never say no to her either when she wants something that she wants. Boom, in we go, okay? So that's how I do that. What if she says no? It's the best. I love that spouse close. Works every time. Because then you can smoke screen out what they're concerned, because she hasn't seen the offer. So clearly, she doesn't care about the product, it's him. Something's going on in his mind, okay? And he's just not sure of it. I think that's pretty much it with objections, okay? This is a practice thing you guys can do. I know we're running lower on time and I'm losing you guys mentally, so I actually think we could call that objections and close, but I do still want to cover a couple principles. So this is a game that you should be playing in your offices and things. I love it. You sit a chair in the middle and you have everyone get around the chair, like just sit around. So you've got one person in the middle and you just rapid fire objections at them and you let them overcome them. So just kind of write all these down and just people just start firing stuff. My spouse. Yes.
So just quick comment. So with objections, honestly, there's answers to all of them. But I found that if the customer trusts you, you'll get less objections.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100%. So there's always things, there's always words to say. But if they trust you, they will not have objections. The product makes sense. The price is going to be better. There's no real logical reason not to do it.
Yeah.
And if they're logically bought in and they're emotionally trusting you, you'll get way less objections.
Correct. Put in quote form, if people like you, they will listen to you. If they trust you, they'll do business with you. So remember that. You earn their trust. And you earn their trust. I mean, this is kind of what we talked about in presentation. You really earn their trust by being genuine and giving bad news. Like, people like that. They love to hear bad news. Look at the news. The people love it. You know what I mean? So give them some bad news. Let them know, hey, here's the problem. Downside is you're going to lose your recordings, Betty. That sucks. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. So, okay. And then that's pretty much objections. And then just kind of to close up, just because that was a pretty extensive closing training as well. Super extensive. My biggest rules with closing is you just have to go for it. Like assumptive. In life, think about it. You can all probably think of somebody who just seems to get like what they want in life, and you don't know why. They just have this luck that follows them, and they just kind of get it. And the reason why is they ask life the right questions. They're assumptive, and they get it done. And they're not necessarily the most talented, and they're not necessarily the most, I don't know, like you just wouldn't see it coming. I know people like that, and I know they get what they want because they're assumptive enough, okay? So I think the biggest takeaway from the close and what I talked about on the doorstep and life in general, like you're already at no, okay? Currently in your life, you're where you're at because of the decisions that you've made up to this point, okay? There's nowhere to go but up, period. You got nothing to lose. Like, you got nothing to lose by talking to people. You got nothing to lose by knocking the door. You got nothing to lose by trying to close the deal. Like, you have nothing to lose. You're not going to offend and you're not going to upset. You're doing a favor. Really, you are. And if not, go to the next door. If they're a streamer, they like to stream their TV and they would never have TV back on again, cool. On to the next. You know what I mean? You don't need to waste time. But genuinely remember that, okay? You're already at no. So why not go for a close? Like, you may as well try. And if you're not closing deals right now, it's because you're not being bold enough. Like, so try. Just try throwing down a bold close. You don't need to know everything to close. It's crazy to me. Like, just do it. Hey, let's just do it. So, I don't know, I think of it, this is kind of just to wrap up the dating analogy that we've had, okay, going through all this thing. You know, your presentation, you're on the date with them, okay, because we kind of stopped at presentation. You realize they have qualities you like. Hey, obviously there's going to be some objections. There's worries. People are getting divorces these days, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's all these worries, but you got to go for the close. I mean, you got to go for it at some time. You got to get up the nerve. Like, when you go in for like a kiss or whatever, it's not usually like, hi, can I kiss you? Maybe. You just go. Like, you just kiss them. You know what I mean? And you can ask, I guess, but maybe just kiss them. You know what I mean? When you are asking someone to marry you, it's not like, hey, maybe we should just get married. I think we should probably just do that. It might be a good idea. Like, maybe you just go for it. Go for the close. And then the cool thing about marriage and the cool thing about relationships, you know, you get to resell every time. You know, you get to earn that every time. Like, hey, here's why you married me. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be the man that you want and that you deserve. Boom, and you get to do it every time. It's the same thing with winning people's business. Like, you win one customer, and you do it again, and you do it again, and you live up to what you say. They call you, they have questions, cool. Here's the call center number, call them, they'll help you out, okay? Or, you know, referrals, I'll take care of your referrals, or bundling concerns, whatever. Reference them to the call center first every time, because that's going to help you guys save time and not go crazy. But we have that there to help customers. Like we give them a better experience than they're gonna have calling corporate. So you just keep doing that, okay? Go for it and be bold. Kind of the last couple things that you wanna leave with a customer, you do want to leave them these kinds of pieces of information. So one, do not cancel your service until the new one's installed, okay? They will lose their TV service right away, or worse, Dish is gonna try to retain them, okay? So do not call into Dish until after it's installed. Don't do it, period. And then it's installed, then they can call into Dish, that's fine. And Dish will say, we want you back. And they'll be like, well, it's already installed. And they'll go, true, we'll send you the boxes, okay? So don't call Dish until after it's installed. Other things to leave them, yes?
And just to like add on that, though, you don't want to make that a problem. Like when you're talking to them, like I would just say like, oh, but we always want to make sure that you guys have the channels that you like, and you don't want to disrupt the service. So make sure you just call them after, or else you will not have to be ready.
True. Yep, so I'm never like, don't call in, they'll retain you. I just, you know what I mean? I say,
Just to make sure that
yeah, just don't call in. Because, and it is honest, so I set up my first customer in Austin. So my first customer in Austin, Texas, we didn't have techs out there at the time. And dude, the guy was like, I just want to cancel it now. And I'm like, don't do it. And he's like, I'm doing it right now. He called into Dish, and the fulfillment tech couldn't come for 2 weeks. And he's like, I'm canceling. And they were like, well, we're going to give you this, this, and that. And he's like, well, it pisses me off you didn't give it to me earlier. I'm canceling. Turn it off right now. And literally hung up the phone and the TV went blank. Like, and his wife was pissed. So, and he's like, oh crap. So like you will lose. It was so funny. It just like blank. Oh yeah. It just like hung up the phone, blank. And he was like, oh crap. She was so mad. So it happens, okay? So that's why I do it. You will lose your channels, you will lose your TV, and I know no one wants to do that. And they're like, oh no, and I'm like, okay. So I just tell them, don't do anything until after I come back, and usually when it's installed, I'll come back and make sure they're happy, or I'll call and say, hey, now's the time, cancel your service. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. That's how I do it. And I keep it super simple, and because a confused mind always says no, You don't want people feeling like you're feeling now, just too much info, in your brain. You want them to just feel like it's really simple, in and out. A professional can make it simple. So that's pretty much my sales knowledge, okay? That is it.